All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. It is Friday afternoon. Welcome to J Sports. Here's your intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to J Sports. Happy Friday, like I said in the beginning. Just texting my guy Duncan Dye. Oh my gosh, it is Friday afternoon here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good evening to you if it is the East Coast. Good morning to you if it is Hawaiian time and everywhere else. Good whatever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a heck of a show for you today. I'm excited, baby. It's our first early stream. Yeah. It's very late. I am very sorry, but we are here. We're ready to go. Oh, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get this YouTube link here because that's how I keep an eye on the chats. Let me go here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see here. We are going to have a big show today. We're going to talk the Vegas Golden Knights, the losers of the NHL so far, along with most other teams that are losing. And we're going to talk a bit about the Dallas Cowboys, actually quite a bit about the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to be talking about their moves, Amari Cooper possibly leaving. We're going to talk about Dalton Schultz, Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, hopefully. But the other thing we're going to talk about is the MLB lockout that's happening because of Rob Manfred. So I'm just trying to make sure this is working. So I thought I would first start with the Golden Knights talk. So let me pull up the article that all right. So we're going to be using an article from our guys at Franchise Sports Media, our guys and gals there, Duncan Dye's team. So the Golden Knights are, let's see, 30, 21, and 4. The Boston Bruins, who they played last night, are 24, 24. Oh, wow. And 6. So hold on. I just need to see that. Okay, so 4 overtime losses. So let's read this here because the Golden Knights have this history of losing. Now, make sure you before I go on, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press that post notification bell so you never miss one of those videos. We got Duncan Dye coming on. And then we're going to talk with our football things. Oscar Montiel will be coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. And let me see if he's commented. Hold on a second. All right, so he hasn't commented, but we're going to have Oscar Montiel. And then the host of Real Talk with Oscar Montiel and the co-host or the main host of the Golden Truth series on his podcast, and Aaron Faxon. You guys saw him here in the first the stream last week. He is a co-host on Oscar's show, the Golden Truth series on Real Talk with Oscar Montiel. It's down below in the description or down in the description. You can go check that out. And his own podcast, Faxon's Musings. So let's go ahead and get into this. The Vegas Golden Knights keep losing. They have lost their last 6 out of 8. Their last 3 out of 4 they lost. They only beat San Jose, which is atrocious. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an atrocious record. So let me read this. It says the Vegas Golden Knights were no match for the Boston Bruins, who took home a 5-2 win Thursday night at T-Mobile Arena. And Duncan is texting me, and I guess it's not going to let me continue. So, all right, here we go. The Golden Knights were coming off a win against San Jose, and were hoping to win consecutive games for the first time since February 8th, but it was not in the cards last night. Las Vegas tempted fate, and this thing is going to slow down. Come on, you son of a bitch. All right, I'm sorry. It's just technology gets me. Like, all right, so Vegas Golden Knights tempted with fate and played with fire throughout the game, and Boston made them pay time and time again. Vegas also suffered another injury. Braden McNabb left the game in the second period with a possible hand injury. He did not return. But last night's game did mark the return of a few familiar faces, including Tomas Nosek. Eric Haula recorded 2 assists against his former team as one of 4 Bruins with a multi-score effort on the night. Craig Smith recorded his 3rd career hat trick. No, it's gonna has okay, it's not gonna want to go. Let's do that. Hold on a second. This thing is let me. All right, let's get to this article here. Hold on. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Craig Smith. Let me go down. With his 3rd career hat trick, and David Pastrnak scored twice for Boston. Let's see. Trent Frederick recorded 3 assists. Bruin netminder Jeremy Swayman made some big saves to keep the Golden Knights off the board when they did manage to get some chances. He finished with 34 saves on 36 shots for his 5th straight win. Let's see. Let me push this a little bit. There we go. His best was on Riley Smith on a Vegas power play in the second period. Robin Lehner followed up that save with 2 huge stops of his own. He made several key saves throughout the game, but second, third, and fourth chance opportunities plagued the Golden Knights in the end. The opening goal is one Lehner should have had though. The Golden Knights turned the puck over in the neutral zone, setting up a 3-on-2 for Boston. Craig Smith beat Lehner short side to make it 1-0 just over 13 minutes into the game. Craig Smith added his second of the game nearly a whole period later, making it 2-0 at 11:18 of the middle frame. Let's see here. Is it not gonna let me? All right, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Come on. All right, now let's get to Eichel. So Eichel cut the deficit to 1 with his second goal of the year and first on home ice. It came with under 3 minutes left in the second period. It appeared to be an absolute dandy, but he lost control of the puck before it slid past Swayman. An ill-timed line change for the Bruins set up the play, and Eichel showed a burst of speed and skill he had yet to display. He continues to improve, but is not yet the Okay, this is very stupid. Let's see. The Jack Eichel of old. Well, of course he's not going to be. He is Jack Eichel, who just came off of a surgery, who just came back from pain, not playing for pretty much 2 years. So, hello. Pastrnak scored a crucial goal to make it 3-1 just over 8 minutes into the third. He came streaking in and went 5-hole while Leonard stopped the initial shot. Pastrnak poked it through his pads to extend Boston's lead to 2. That proved to be the game-winning goal. Craig Smith completed the hat trick at 6 minutes 25 seconds later, making it 4-1 at 14:39 of the third. Leonard collided with Zach Whitecloud in the crease, which prevented him from getting over in time after coming out to stop Brad Marchand's initial shot. It was that kind of night for Vegas. Marchessault made it 4-2 with 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third period, but it was too little, too late for the Knights, who have now lost 6 of their last 8 games. Pastrnak officially put the game away at 18 minutes and 20 seconds of the third with an empty net tally. Vegas could have won this. Vegas could have won this hockey game. The Golden Knights trailed 2-1 after 2 and could have come out with a dominant effort in the third. They did not. Vegas had just 6 scoring chances in the final game, in the final frame. The Golden Knights generated little to no offense for most of the game, and the effort certainly did not reflect Vegas's current situation in the standings. The Golden Knights are tied with Edmonton for third place in the Pacific Division with 64 points. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, 64 points in 55 games after Wednesday's 4-3 overtime loss to Chicago. With that, okay, so it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? After Edmonton's 4-3 loss to Chicago. I was like, we didn't play Chicago. The Golden Knights not only suffered their minimal cushion, but what the fuck is this? Yeah, suffered the minimal cushion, but also failed to take advantage of another Los Angeles loss last night. Vegas cannot continue on the current path if it hopes to push for the playoffs. The fact that the team may have a new injury doesn't help matters, but there is enough talent on this roster to win some games. The team effort was not there tonight. It could have been a blowout if not for some of Leonard's saves. For much of a crucial third period, the Golden Knights played as though they were trying not to blow a 1 a 1-goal lead, even though they never led in this game. They only took one penalty, which was a positive. Still, they failed to capitalize on either of their power plays. And it says, ironically taken by Hala and Nosek, which is absolutely hilarious. One of which came early in the third period. All right, so I'm not going to continue reading, but essentially what this article is saying and what DJ Wood is saying from Franchise Sports Media, make sure I will post this article in the description. But essentially what he's saying here is, you guys lost. You guys are awful. You guys couldn't generate any chances. You mishandled the puck. Again, Vegas turnovers. I'm just fixing this cord. Vegas turnovers are costing the team everything. The team is losing. They are behind. They are a team that should be ahead. They are a team that has lost so many games. And look, I know everyone's going to say, oh, well, Leonard couldn't make any saves. Yeah, that first goal Leonard should have had. Where was his offense or his defense? Where? It wasn't there. It wasn't. So I don't want to hear that. Now, as I put this away, what I also want to know is, where is his offense? Where you guys had only 6 scoring chances in a game? What? Ladies and gentlemen, this is just an absolute atrocity. Hold on a second. This is an atrocity for the Golden Knights. I didn't review the games. I was a little too busy. I figured I'd cover them here in the stream. The Golden Knights are an absolute failure of a team. They got rid of Gerard Gallant. They bring on Pete Deboer. So they get rid of Gerard Gallant because he's not winning any games. We're losing in overtime. We're not getting close to the playoffs, or at least close enough. We're really not doing great. We need a better coach. And they bring on Pete effing Deboer. Pete Deboer. Out of all the coaches, you're going to bring on Pete Deboer. The guy who took San Jose to the Stanley World Cup and didn't do jack. The San Jose Sharks failed. Same coach as Gerard Gallant, but Gerard Gallant was better in my opinion. And now he's with the New York Rangers with Ryan Reeves again. Isn't that amazing? Let me take a drink here. So, I can just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I could be optimistic about the Golden Knights. I could say, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to do something. Don't worry. It's all going to be okay. Everything will be fine. However, that's not going to be the case. The Golden Knights will not do fine. It is an absolute atrocity what's going on in this team. DJ Wood said, oh, well, there's other talent that could fulfill Braden McNabb's thing. You could bring on Jake Leschyshyn. You could bring on Daniil Miromanov. You could bring on a couple players. However, if your offense isn't generating anything, how is it going to help? All this talent. Oh, well, they don't have Stone and Pacioretty. You're telling me that without Stone and Pacioretty, they can't score? Oh, give me a break. And then I just, this talent that you bring out, we got Eichel, one of the best players in the NHL, a top 10 center, a top 10 player, one of my favorite players in the NHL. He's helping you, and you can't even help him. Now, he said last night on the interviews, last night, he honestly lost the puck and it went through his legs. And hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get. Jack Eichel is still completing passes. He's winning faceoffs. I think he's won 4 to 5 or 6 or something like that. So look, or 5 or something out of 6. So look, Jack Eichel has done incredible for being back only after a year, after being in surgery and not playing an NHL game. Jack Eichel is absolutely murdering it. I'm so proud of you, Jack Eichel. I love you. I always have. Jack Eichel has made a difference on this team. However, the players that haven't are, well, everyone you see on the team. You guys need to find a way to beat teams like Colorado. You guys need to be, first off, you need to be able to beat teams like the Coyotes. The Coyotes, okay, who you shut out last season. I think you won almost every game, or you won half, or you won a little bit more. I think you won 5, and you blew them. You pretty much canceled them in their last game last season, and they're struggling to even find a place. They're stuck at ASU. Okay, they can't even get a stadium approved, and you can't even beat those guys. You can't even beat the Avalanche. You guys are supposed to be this world-class team in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you cannot play. I'm just concerned for this team. Um, Thank you for the bots. I wish the bots counted as views, but they don't. So, look, the team is an absolute joke. It's trash. It's a failure. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, but they're Golden Eyes. They're doing amazing. Amazing will be when they can actually win. Oh, Jason, it's only one game. It's only a few games. Come on. Come on, Jason. They're at 55 games. Come on. We've got like... Let's see. 20, 60, 75. 7. So about 27 games left. And you're going to tell me, oh, Jason, come on. Don't be so unfair. Don't be so unfair. They're going to play tonight. They're going to beat the Ducks. They might beat the Ducks. Maybe. I can't really tell you if they're going to beat the Ducks. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think they're going to lose to the Anaheim Ducks. Maybe they could win against John Gibson and you know, I think maybe they might beat John Gibson and the Ducks. John Gibson is not very great against the Golden Knights, so maybe they might just win one game. It seems like they're just going to be easy teams. They're not going to do anything great, and oh my God. If the Golden Knights get to the playoffs, it'll be a miracle. They will be out by at least round. If they can get to the playoffs, they can possibly get to round 2. The miracle will be if they get to round 3, and they will be knocked out. If they even get to round 3, they'll be knocked out by round 3. They will not be in the Stanley Cup this year. Mark my words. In fact, if anyone wants to bet with me, any money, I don't care what it is, any money, I will bet that money Golden Knights will not make the playoffs. All right? It's just the case. So that is my rant on the Golden Knights. We will be having Mr. Duncan Dye on. That is my rant on the Golden Knights. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me text Duncan Dye and have him get backstage. Hold on a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me get Franchise Sports Media's link. And let me paste it in the chat. Let's see. Let me. Let me put this. Let's check. Duncan is backstage. So let me just paste this. All right, here we go. We're about to have Duncan Dye, ladies and gentlemen. Duncan, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, man. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, were you just talking about the Knights?
I was.
Yeah, I seen they haven't been doing too well lately.
You missed a bunch of screaming.
Screaming, yeah. I bet.
Screaming. I was losing my damn mind, dude.
Yeah, they made some questionable moves in the offseason, and I definitely think
back to bite them.
It's coming back to bite them. Yeah. They might make they could. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll do anything.
I just said. But by the way, do you like my microphone like this? So here's how I sound now.
Yeah,
and then here's how I sound right here. So which one sounds better, or does it all kind of sound the same?
All kind of sounds the same.
All right. So here's this one right here. All right. And then here's this one right here. So this is me. So it all sounds the same to you?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I can hear you, so.
Okay, definitely. You know what?
I think that's what's important, right?
It is. It is. Yeah. So.
Yeah. What were you saying though?
No, I was saying that. It's all. I said before you came on that they will, if they get to the playoffs, they'll most likely get about to the second round. If they get past the second round, the miracle is if they can get to the third round. If they get to the third round, they ain't going past that. They'll lose in game 5, game 6. And it depends on how they play in rounds 1 and 2. I think they'll probably lose in game 5 is my guess.
In the third round? Yeah.
In the third round. And I said that I would bet any money against anybody. So if anyone in the comments in the chat wants to do that, then go ahead.
How much would you be willing to bet on this? Because it sounds like you're pretty confident.
I would bet $500.
$500.
$500 that if they go to the third round, they'll lose in game 5 or game 6, but they will not make it past the third round.
Yeah, man, it's a different team than the first year that we had them out here, and they made the Stanley Cup. It's sort of gone downhill. I said to myself, I'm like, we got to close the series out. We got to win the series. I feel like this is going to be our one of our few chances to get that ring. We were there, the final 2, and then I think we won game 1, right? We won the first game of the Stanley Cup, and then
it was game 1, lost game 2.
I think we lost 4 in a row after we won the first one.
2, 3, 4, 5. No, because it went to a game 6.
Went to a game 6.
No, it went to a game 5 actually.
Yeah, because I was remembering because we won game 1 and we were all like, yeah, we're in the right direction. We're heading in the right direction. 3 more.
Yeah, and then we lost game 2. Then we lost game 3 in Washington. Won game 4, I think it was, and then came back and lost game 5. In fact, I think we had a lead in game 5 and.
We had a lead and then we blew it. I'm not that informative on hockey, but that's definitely what I remember happening. But
yeah, exactly. It's just So
all right, so you ready to talk about this MLB lockout once again? And how?
But by the way, I was reading DJ's article from today.
Oh yeah, about the Knights.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I want to see if I can paste it in the chat really quickly. Just give DJ a shout out. All right, let me see if I can.
I told, because I had a meeting with franchise. I told them about your channel and stuff. So, I'm sure they probably come in and watch it every so often.
When you're on.
Yeah. To make sure
You got it.
make sure I'm a personable guy and I'm not saying anything crazy. Like, is this really the guy we want in our company?
Like, is this the dude I mean, they're gonna see you come on a raging blind guys podcast, and they're gonna be like,
today I'm probably gonna be raging because the updates that we got for their bargaining deal and the deadline was kind of what I expected, but at the same time, it still angers me. I blame the players at this point. I feel like the owner's proposal wasn't that crazy. I mean, what was it like? I mean, we'll talk about it. You're posting DJ Woods' article.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I know he focuses on the Knights, like I said, and then I usually focus on the Lakers. But yeah, we both kind of are struggling right now with our teams because the Lakers. I don't know if you saw, but
it was a fail.
I don't know if you saw the last game yesterday against the Clippers. So
yeah,
of course you saw it. It was like it was trending all over
everywhere.
They're laughably bad, but no. So they go on a 14-0 run. They were down 17 right before the half, right? And they go on a 14-0 run.
Yeah,
and they trim that deficit to 3. And I'm like, okay, we're within 3. We got 2 quarters to work with. Just, and they look great in that 14-0 run. Like they were in rhythm on defense, obviously, because they didn't allow any scoring in the final 4 minutes of the half. But out the gates in the second half, the Clippers went on a 25-2 run. Out of the gates, we only scored 1 basket.
Yep. Yeah,
I think we scored 1 basket in like the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second half, and then from there, I mean, we started getting more points up, but it was too late. It was too late by then because we had just gotten ourselves into such a huge deficit, and then that's not the only time this week that they've gotten beaten that bad. They lost to the Pelicans in similar fashion. It's just, yeah, whatever the mindset was when they were constructing that team. Like I know they focused on, they wanted to get veteran guys like Carmelo Anthony and stuff, but they're too old. It's a retirement home. Like they're all they're all too tired by the second half because younger guys like Reggie Jackson last night have more endurance and durability to go the whole game. But somebody like Carmelo Anthony, or I can't say LeBron because even in his age 37 season, he's still good. But
dude, I mean, you could bring Kobe right now. Rest in peace, my man Kobe. I love you. You could bring my man Kobe, and he'd beat the shit out of these guys. I mean, just him by himself against our Lakers.
Well, if you think about it, even like so if we had Kobe, like when he was towards the end of his retirement, or towards his retirement, like towards the end of his career, I still think we'd be better. Like if we had a 37-year-old James and a 37-year-old Kobe, I'd take that over a 29-year-old Malik Monk, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Because Monk, to me, is not really...
He's inconsistent.
Yeah,
he's one of the younger guys. But,
exactly, it's not sharp. You see him on the court, and I'm like, okay, dude, are you gonna do anything? Are you gonna score? Are you? And I remember one game he got like 3 fouls or something like that. And yeah. So I mean, he's like Dallas's Anthony Brown. He just gets burned all the time, basically on penalties. So
he does.
On all those fouls. And what happens when he gets those fouls? Teams like the Nuggets, the Sixers, and the Clippers come out and they score on those.
Yeah, and another thing to consider is when a team wins a championship, right? Like the Lakers did in 2020. What's a common thing that championship teams do the next season?
Lose.
They run it back, right? They go, okay, this team won us a chip. Let's run it back. Let's get Danny Green back, because Danny Green, casual basketball fans would just look at a guy like Danny Green and go, oh, he's trash. What, he hit like 2 threes a game out of like 7 attempts? He was great on perimeter defense, meaning that a team like the Miami Heat, who has outside shooters like Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson, they were in shambles, especially in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, because Danny Green was out there guarding the perimeter.
Right, exactly.
those are the hidden values that some players have that build championship teams. And the real reason why the Lakers won in 2020 is because they had defenders. You know, Dwight Howard was a little better back then. I mean, he was still. I mean, now he's just an embarrassment. He's getting dunked on by, I think Luka Doncic dunked on him the other day.
Yeah.
If you had told him when he was playing for the Orlando Magic that some 23-year-old kid would dunk on you later in your career, he'd probably be like, "Okay, I'm retiring before I get to that stage," you know. But now what we have is just a bunch of it's just.
What you have is a
bad.
bunch of atmospheres,
Say
you know, and you have a bunch of amateurs, and I think on the Golden Knights too. I mean, just all around awful, and everyone comes at me. Jason, it's just a few games. Yeah. Jason, the Leonard could have done this. Jason, and they just keep making excuses for these guys. I mean, I always say with the caveat that I don't play hockey, but I'm an analyst. I'm coming off of that, and these guys are just not it on either team. Jeannie Buss, Dr. Jerry Buss would not stand for this.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but
I do, because Jeannie Buss, I mean, she inherited it and all that. This would not pass.
It's not really her fault.
No, but I mean,
but it comes down to the front office taking suggestions from LeBron James, because people act like LeBron James is actually the GM, like making these moves. LeBron goes to the front office and says, "This is who we should get." So the front office has the choice to listen to him or not listen to him and go after what they think they should go after. So they went after basically his friends. He got a bunch of his friends on the team, like Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, and they're like, "We're gonna run it, or we're gonna go on a run together." You know, we had great careers, and we're towards the end of our careers. Let's get a chip together. Like that's not smart if you think about it, because that's not building a championship team. That's building a team around hope, and it's like a Disney movie. Yeah. I swear to God, like if the Lakers come, that's the best way to compare it right now.
Yeah.
If the Lakers magically go on some sort of run in the play-in tournament and then get into the actual playoffs, they'll just get shut down by these real teams, because you look at a guy like, if we compare centers, if you look at a guy like Dwight Howard, because Dwight Howard's kind of our go-to center right now, which is ridiculous.
But, okay.
When AD comes back, I think what they're going to do is put him at center, which would be smart.
It'll only last a day.
Exactly. So if you compare him to, I don't know, Jokic, it's like, what's it going to come down to? Because Jokic can go the whole game efficiently with energy, because he's younger, and AD is young too, but he's just such an injury threat that,
dude, it's like injuries are his middle name, man. It's if you
and I thought
at center, he's only lasting a game, and then you have your guy back again, back at center. So
I thought maybe it was just bad luck, the first few times he got hurt. It was bad luck, like D Rose or something, but no, I mean, he's gotten hurt like 5 times since I thought that. It's just like, I don't think he's taking care of himself well. Like LeBron could show him, because LeBron has been going for it all since 2003. Basically, he's been on the court playing stellar, and then AD can't even make it into his 7th year without already becoming such an injury-prone player. So the trainer should be held accountable, and he should be held accountable for not taking care of himself, because, Jesus.
Yeah, you're getting paid all these millions of dollars, and you can't even watch yourself. That is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I love the Lakers. So it's disappointing to see this. I mean, at least they won in 2020, and I was excited. It was just LA's year in 2020, except the Rams couldn't win. And I thank God they didn't do a joint parade. It's just, it's too late. Those two teams won 2 years ago. Stop.
Yeah.
Although the idea would have been fine in 2020, I would have done a joint parade, but still. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the MLB lockout, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. So we have told you everything the players wanted, from the universal DH to, oh my God, don't do that. We have told you they wanted a higher CBT. They wanted, the higher salaries. They wanted all these kinds of things, and also a redo to the free agency and the manipulated time of service. They want a 14-team playoff, which is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Duncan and I went over all of that. Now, Duncan, you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Bad.
It cut out for a little bit. I don't know if you muted yourself, but so now it came out that they went past the MLB deadline. But Rob Manfred is getting, that's why he's in the hashtags, because I didn't want his ugly ass in the thumbnail, so I had to pick which one. He is being roasted all over social media. He is being roasted by everybody because he's just not liked whatsoever. So,
You know what my favorite nickname for him is right now?
What?
Rob Manfred. That's his. That's my new name. It all started.
I love it.
You haven't heard that one before?
No, I have.
That one's trending right now in my head, but
your head, make it trend. Hold on.
Yeah, it all started with the Astros. That's when I was like, okay, something's fishy with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So they canceled the first 2 series games. Rob Manfred, his press conference was a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Came out
and his letter was too.
His letter was his statement. Ladies and gentlemen, when you cancel the first 2 series, yeah, these millionaires don't get paid. The starting salary is $500,000. That's really a middle class salary. That's really nothing. Not a lot of these baseball players are millionaires. It's really a kind of middle percentage of them, not too big of a percentage. It's kind of small, I guess you could say. But you also have this thing where, sure, they might not be paid. The coaches might not be paid. The managers might not be paid. But you got people who don't make millions of dollars. They make maybe $20,000 working at these stadiums. The groundskeepers, the ushers, the ticket people, go in the store workers, the gift shop workers, the concession stands, the traffic people, the parking people. Everybody loses work, and they cannot be paid because you guys and all of us, the fans, do not show up to these games. My thought on this, Duncan, is, these players, they're asking for this season. You're asking for. They also came out with what was it? The automated pitch, the bigger strike zone, and a couple other things like that. Look, I will be completely honest. I mean, I don't really think that this is going to make much of a difference. I mean, you're going to cancel the first 2 series? That's your punishment, Rob Manfred. I stand with the players on this, and the reason why is the owners' profits have skyrocketed since 2015. Players' salaries have dropped since 2015. Teams have made an absorbent amount of money, an absurd amount of money, and I think if you're going to bring in these new rules, we'll get to the rules, but just this lockout in general. We'll go to the rules later, but this lockout is just, canceling the first 2 series. It just rubbed me the wrong way from Rob Manfred.
Yeah, and it rubs the entire fan base the wrong way, and I think the MLB is falling down the ladder of professional sports with all this. COVID, that was one thing. Every sport went through it, but I mean, after that, I mean, they had to be. I mean, come on, we're doing this now. Like we're doing this now, a year after we finally got back to how it was normally, and we're doing this now, and I do put some blame on the owners, but I also put some blame on the players too. They make a lot of money. They make more than most professional athletes could hope for. I mean, if the minimum salary is such an issue, I saw what the owners proposed for the minimum salary. I think it's fair. I mean, if a guy like David Fletcher, do you know who David Fletcher is for the Angels?
The name sounds familiar.
So David Fletcher is one of those baseball players that's good. He gets on base all the time and stuff, but production wise, it's like he's not worth all these millions of dollars. And there's other players, and David Fletcher, that might be a bad example because he could still put up a 280 batting average, but there's other players that are just that are on these MLB teams, and the minimum salary is supposed to be what? I don't know what they propose, but I think it's fair. I mean,
well, they wanted it to go up to somewhere around like 600,000 and 650, 750, and to 780. I think.
well,
No, about
the
890,
owners
something like that. I mean,
proposed like seven. They proposed like $600 and some $1,000 as the minimum.
but it's already
salary.
down 550,000. So like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you going to suggest a salary? Dude, that's like if we got out of college, man, and got a job at some journalism firm making $500,000 to start. That's great for a bunch of 20-some-year-olds, right?
Right.
But that's expected. We're college students. We're not expected to be making these millions of dollars. These guys are playing 182 days for a 162 game season, traveling, all of that, making these owners billions of dollars a year, and they can't pay more.
I mean, it's fair, but the real players that bring in the money, like the all-stars, they make a lot of money. Like Mike Trout makes Mike Trout on a.
But we're not talking about the all-stars. We're talking about players who.
That's what brings the money in. The all-stars get paid. You know.
Sure, the all-stars get paid, but if you take these players and they're gonna sit here and like these small-time players that only make $650,000, $680,000, right? You take them and let them do this lockout, and then the big players don't stand with them. The MLB isn't going to take them very seriously. It's tricky. You know,
it's tricky.
Well, I mean, come on. When you have people fighting about climate change on Capitol Hill, they don't listen. You have people like Elizabeth, not Elizabeth Holmes, but all these other, Jane Fonda and all of them go and getting arrested. It's like celebrities make the news. So if they stand with the people, it's like, oh, wow, this is a serious issue. Right. And so these big players, they also want to do it because, let's say they're making 50, 60, 120, $200 million. They have to stand up for players after them, which is what I think, not Walker Buehler, but I think Jock Peterson said. There are a couple players that said it, like, look, we might be the big time players right now, but a lot of us are at the end of our time. We're approaching it. We need to stand up for every other player. So the NFB's saying an organization I'm a part of. Well, I was. The MLB is getting way too comfy. And Definitely. It's about time someone held them accountable. But I mean, this is just a bunch of bull crap. Opening day is not happening anytime soon. If this is delayed, they're just going to delay training camp. And training camp is what these clubs need to. The players don't like playing it because they get like a little stipend, or I don't think they get paid at all. I don't remember.
The minor leaguers that get called up don't get paid. So, but I mean, it's more of like a tryout for them. But still, I do think they should get paid.
Yeah, keep paying them their minor league salary.
Yeah,
keep doing that. And okay, fine, just come up, and if you do, we'll up your salary, right? You mean the MLB? But again, it is monumental that these players are doing what they're doing. And it's for a good reason. However, Rob Manfred's a jerk. He's an ass. These owners, I didn't like their proposal. I stand with the players except for that 14-game season, the postseason. The postseason's already long enough. I don't want to sit there for another round. I'm sorry, but I don't. We don't have to. It's not COVID. Stop. I'm sorry for teams that don't. And look, teams don't get a lot of money, so then the owners there's a lot of problems here, but no. Rob Manfred made the wrong decision here.
Definitely. I think when it comes to the playoffs, I think they're kind of copying the NBA play-in kind of thing, because right now it's 10 teams make the playoffs usually, or last year it's 10 teams make the playoffs, 5 from each league. Now what we have, if 14 teams are going in, that means we're adding 2 more wildcard teams on both sides. So it's like almost like a play-in tournament just to get into the LDS. And it's like, there's going to be teams that are below 500 in that seeding. I swear.
Yeah, and I don't really think we should be doing that.
Yeah.
You should be, and you and people will criticize me and say, "Oh, well, I think we should allow, look, you should be able to get in the playoffs if you play for above 500, not at 500, but above 500." And people are gonna say, "Oh, but a lot of these players don't have, a lot of the teams don't have players that can do that because they can't afford them." Not my problem. You want to be in a state, in a city that doesn't have a high market for a team? Sorry. I mean, come on.
That's just kind of how it is. It's the brutal truth of it.
It is.
The Oakland Athletics are great at finding young talent and stuff like Matt Olson and Matt Chapman and all that, but essentially they don't really have the funds to build a championship team. So the Oakland Athletics aren't winning anything anytime soon. And that's just the sad reality of it. Like, if I had to predict who's going to win the World Series next year, I promise you it's going to be a high market team.
Well, it never is a low market team, and if it is,
the Braves defied reality because what they did is they went after, players that are good, but they're kind of falling in the value, so they didn't have to give up too much for him. Like guys like Eddie Rosario, like he was great with the Twins, but then he started to deplete a little bit on the Indians or the Guardians, whatever it is. Bullshit. But yeah, so he started to deplete a little bit, but the Braves said, you know what? We still see a guy that can win an NLCS MVP, so let's go after him and get him. They went after Jock Peterson, who I think he was hitting like 180, or he was definitely hitting below 200 for the Cubs. And then, boom, he's on the Braves, and I think he was the NLDS MVP for sure.
Yeah.
And then, if there was one, and then Jorge Soler.
Oh man, Soler was just a beast. Him, and you saw the two videos I showed you last week.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. And by the way, that stream got copyrighted because of the undisputed clip that I showed.
Oh,
I should have just done an audio clip, see if that would have worked, but whatever. It just demonetized it.
What happened? Oh, they demonetized it.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm not getting paid anyway right now, so screw it.
Lesson learned though. Learned for when you grow your channel and stuff.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I because for me, the reason that I'm gonna hopefully start. I'm thinking of starting an LLC, and just having the members, but just viewers pay into the show is. You can never trust YouTube because there were political people that were making millions of dollars a year and even a month, and they started messing with their subscriber count. They unsubscribed people. They stopped showing them in the algorithms. They took away their millions, their money, their income. So those guys started having to go on Patreon, PayPal, and even their own kind of payment portals because of that. So I'd rather just do my own payment system anyway, and fuck YouTube if they want to, if they want to, they want to demonetize me. Go ahead, YouTube, do it. You already do it anyway.
And Twitch for sure.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Rumble doesn't.
Yeah, they're both pretty strict.
Doesn't. I was thinking about going on Rumble, but I don't know about the platform very much, so I got to look into it and see what it's like. But so let's talk about the rule changes really quickly, and then I want to get to Freeman because I'm sure you've heard the news. The rule changes that they want to do, of course, the universal DH. I say no. You say no. I think, right?
Yeah.
Right. And we've already discussed that. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go and check out our live stream from
was
last
that the
week.
Stream? When we talked about that, was that the stream that got? Okay. Yeah.
It got copyrighted, but it's still there. Yeah. It got 30 views, so hey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. This thing's probably going to be about 2 hours, but who knows? I don't know. But let's go. So the rule changes, the universal DH. They want to do the 14 team, 15, whatever, postseason. We've talked about that. That's bull crap. It's bullshit. But they also want to do a couple of changes, like the changing of the pitch clock, the automated strike zone, and then the expanding of the strike zone. So the expanding of the bases. So of home. So talk to us about the rules and what you think of them. The new rules they want to put in.
Well, first of all, the universal DH, we talked about that. I think
Yeah.
that's a sham.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's definitely a strategy to draw in more fans because they think if you have 9 position players in a lineup or 9 real hitters, then that's more likely that you're going to get some offensive production, and that's really what the fans like. But I think it's not good for the game, for the NL to have DHs, because it compromises what the game was all about back then, what it was formulated to be, because baseball, like, you just can't change everything. Expanding the bases, that's ridiculous. I think 90 feet is fair. I don't know. It's just,
why would they want to expand the bases?
I don't know. Is that what you said they were doing? Because I gotta look.
They want to expand the bases.
I gotta do some more research on that, because that is definitely something I disagree with as well. 90 feet is definitely fair. A guy like Bartolo Colon can't make it in 40 seconds, then that's his fault.
You can't run on the diamond, and running on a baseball diamond is not easy. I've done it, and I'm out of breath and I'm ready to collapse because the grass is thick. Most of it, but some of it. But
okay, I see what they want to do now.
Okay,
I see what they want to do. They don't want to expand the bases from 90 feet. They want to make the bases bigger from 15 inches to 18 inches. That way, if you're running down first base, now that I did my research on it, that makes sense, because oftentimes when a runner is running down and a first baseman has his foot on the bag, we saw it happen with Machado a couple of times. You can argue that it was intentional, but a first baseman oftentimes gets his ankle fucked up because some runner is running down the line. If you expand the bases a little bit, I guess it does prevent injuries for both the runner and the first baseman, or whatever's going on at second or third base too. But yeah, I mean, for a second there, I thought maybe they were going to push it back from 90 feet to something else, but
right,
no. And then the pitch clock. So I like the pitch clock. I like, because there's a pitcher he used to pitch for the Dodgers, Pedro Baez. Yeah, Pedro Baez. He used to take forever in between pitches. Like,
oh my god, and you would you're kind of coming off a break. You're getting ready to you have the batter in the batter's box, and you're waiting for the pitcher to finish his warm-ups, and then all of a sudden now you're going to take the first swing, and he's going to throw a cutter, or he's going to throw a fastball or curveball or a four-seam or whatever, and he's just like throwing 7 balls, 8 balls, and then he's ready to go. Yeah, I mean, so what is the pitch clock, and what are they trying to do here?
Trying to make the game go quicker. So, in between innings, they have a clock, right? Where you got about 2.5 minutes to warm up and stuff before we get ready for the next half inning. A pitch clock is similar to that in the sense that we want the game to move quicker. Like the rule change where there was a 3-batter minimum for pitchers. That's another rule that's very controversial, but it does save time, because rather than allowing a manager to make like 50 bullpen changes in one inning, we gotta, I don't know, it's all designed to save time, and I sort of agree with it.
Yeah, because would you want to? Because I mean, you're in the batter's box, you're waiting, like fuck. And not only that, but let's say he throws a fastball, that's a ball. Throws a curveball, that's a strike. Throws a cutter, that's a foul. Throws another slider, that's a foul. Throws a four-seam, that's a ball. It just goes on and on and on.
Right. If it's like a 13 pitch at bat, then yeah. And if Pedro Baez ever got himself in a 13th pitch at bat, that would be like a
you were dangerous.
Yeah, that's like a 13-minute at bat right there.
Yeah, exactly. So then you're like, oh my god. But also, it's not that bat is what takes so long. It is, but it's the pitcher takes anywhere from 30 seconds, like 15 seconds to 45 seconds to throw the next pitch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And sometimes even a minute. So, And I mean, again, it's going to be a rule adjustment because now you're forcing your arm to do more work at a higher speed, at a more excessive speed. And these guys are throwing 96, 97, 98 hours an hour. Their velo is high. And so, yeah, I'm just, these rules now. Because there's a part where they're saying let's not expand the strike zone because you have. There was one where the batter has to have both feet in the box or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're saying like let's not expand that. And then they want to do an automated strike zone or something like that.
I think that's more of a rumor. I mean, automated strike zone would be that we're not relying on the umpires to make all the decisions when it comes to balls and strikes. I still think that I don't think we've made it that far yet. I still think this season's going to be just how it was before with the umpires making the decisions. But I mean, with this MLB lockout, I don't know. So much can change when the season starts, like all these rule changes and stuff that I wasn't even expecting. So if you're a baseball fan and you're waiting to see what's going to happen, don't be so shocked when you're surprised about some of the stuff, like going back to free agency. There's still some moves that haven't been announced yet.
Yeah, you have, and you can. And I mean, so and I think I lost my train of thought here. No, exactly. And but with I know what I was gonna say with Manfred, or I call him Manfuck, or someone call him Manfrick if you want to be
Man fraud.
Curse too much. Yeah, man fraud.
He's a
Hashtag
fraud.
man fraud. I should have done. I should do hashtag man fraud. Post in the chat. Hashtag man fraud. Hashtag capital MANFRAUD for anyone else. Please post in the chat here. Hold on a second. And yep. So
hashtag man fraud.
Hashtag nice. Man fraud. See, you see it. Hashtag.
Yeah,
I love it too. I should use that. I will add it to the description later on. Hashtag,
what is all these? Hold on. What is this?
It's all the bots. All these fucking bots, man.
What are we on Instagram? Look at all this shit. Naked XD. Here, girls will do what you say. Oh yeah, sure.
These are bots. They're not actual people. And you know what I hate about them is like they don't count as actual views.
I know. I don't understand how this works. Like it's like an automated account that was created by some psychopath that just finds its way into your shit sometimes.
Yeah. And like I wish they would count as comments because on the YouTube Studio thing it'll show. But I don't know if it'll even show as comments. But I know for views, they don't show up as views. Oscar was saying he can teach me how to ban these bots. I want to do that because
well,
at first I thought they were real people.
I think you can ban them right now. No, looking at this, there's no way this is real. Like even even their whatever it is, their profile shit, you can tell.
Yeah, it's an automated account.
Check with the YouTube play button. Get out of here.
But yeah. So, has Oscar posted in the chat?
I don't think so. No, not yet.
Oscar's he's probably sleeping because we're doing baseball talk.
Yeah.
It's okay. He talks Washington. Every time he talks Washington, I want to break something, throw something through my window.
Well, that's when I fall asleep. Give a shit about Washington. Washington.
Commanders. Remember?
Commanders. They'll be lucky to win 6 games next year. No, I'm they'll probably just barely. I don't even know.
Cowboys
I don't know much about that team, to be honest.
They need to replace their quarterback, and they need a good wide receiver. That's where Amari Cooper might go, but we'll talk about that. But lastly, on Rob Manfred, I mean, it takes a year. He has to propose a rule, and then he has to actually tell the managers and players and coaches and all that, and then he has to wait a year to actually implement it. Now he's thinking of just implementing a rule and just being a full-on dictator. Like, I'm just going to implement the rule. So, I mean, Who knows on that, right? So I don't know if you want to say anything on that. If not, let's before we get Aaron and Oscar back here, let's talk Freddie Freeman. So it looks like the Yankees and the Dodgers are the top two teams to get him, and it looks highly likely. The guy that's affiliated with the Braves more was saying, basically that he called him a West Coast guy and said that he's not happy with what the Braves offered. I think the Braves are being totally disrespectful to their franchise, dude. I mean, it's these teams that have these franchise guy and he does everything for them, and then they disrespect the Marc-Andre Fleury, and then you have Freddie Freeman.
The difference between Fleury and Freeman though is Fleury didn't get them a ring. Freeman did.
Freeman didn't get them a ring, but the Knights didn't get themselves a ring. Now, yeah, Fleury had that F up where he went into the center of the ice and it went past him, and that's how I think it was Canadians.
I forgot too. Yeah,
I think the Canadians won that game. But again, when Leonard's your shitty ass goalie, how are you gonna have Fleury play? Not play. He was tired because you didn't have a reliable goalie. But we don't have a reliable team. Anyway, aside from the Golden Knights, here's the thing. They're calling him a West Coast guy. He said that there's pretty girls trying to talk to Freddie, and he's talking back. So, and he likes it. So look, they can't do any official business. You can move if the Dodgers get him. I think they're probably offering him that $180 million. Mark Walters is saying, do you want that paycheck, Freddie? Here, I have a paycheck of $180 million. Do you want it? It's 6 years with the Dodgers. You'll be a Los Angeles Dodger now. You'll have Dodger dogs for breakfast and tacos for lunch and micheladas for dinner. Or the churros for dessert. Right? And or the what's the other food they have at Dodger Stadium? The little Boston hot dogs or whatever that they
Dodger dogs.
No, not the Dodger dogs. The other ones. They're like a sausage thing. But either way,
I forgot.
yeah. I haven't been
Duck
since
Dodgers.
2009. I love the Dodgers, but they're saying that this could be it. And look, the guys want him because it's not like, I mean, you could put Max Muncy at second base, like I talked to you last week about last week, and you could put him there. And the guys want him because he's not disturbing any of them. So they're fine with Muncy being there, and then they're fine with Freeman playing first base. You could even switch him. I think Freddie could play a good second base.
No, stop it.
You really don't think so?
No. It's okay, though. It's just he's a lefty, and that's not the only reason why. I just don't think he has the arm for it or the range. But usually you want...
I mean, you saw those two defense videos I showed you. Come on.
Yeah, he's a good first baseman. That's his position. But second base is a whole new...
it's a whole different angle on the field. But I don't know. You maybe. And with the right coaching, I don't know. But
maybe.
Again,
hey, if that happens, if Freddie Freeman just...
if he could do both.
It's good to see you too, Aaron. But if that happens with Freddie Freeman becoming...
is he posting?
Yeah, if that happens with Freddie Freeman going to second base and becoming like some sort of all-star second baseman, I'll give you $200. I'll Venmo you $200.
All right. No, I mean, he is a good first baseman. I mean, because he was making plays from way back field and all that. So that's why I was saying it before. And it's just like, look, Freddie Freeman's great on defense too, which is great. And he can gel and team up, get in, mix in with the team. But they need to replace the shortstop. Well, no, they actually have Trey Turner, but they need to replace that lefty because Seager's gone. With Ace pitching though, they need some help there. Bauer.
Truthfully, Jason. I think the offense is fine, especially if you get Pollock back and Freeman. I think the offense is fine. It's the pitcher.
That's what I'm saying is that you need to replace Seager, and Freeman is that guy.
Yeah, Freeman's that guy, but we need to start thinking about replacing Max Scherzer And because we need another facilitator in the
Well,
starting.
that's why they're saying. That's why they're saying let's bring back Clayton Kershaw at least for another year. Give him a year. Retire as the Dodger. 2 years maybe. I think 2 years is asking a little too much from Clayton Kershaw. Give him a year. Get us time to get a trade deadline. At the trade deadline, get a nice pitcher. Because we have Andrew Heaney. We have Bazooka. We've got who are the other bullpen pitchers? Knable.
Did you say Trinan?
No, Trinan. May will most likely be a closer for now. Just to get his arm back in motion after the All-Star break. And
Tony Gonsolin,
Victor Gonzalez, all these guys.
Gratterall,
Brusdar Gratterall, but none of them. I think maybe Brusdar Gratterall, and later on in the 2023 season, maybe Dustin May. But other than that, I don't really see a lot of these guys being Adrian. What's his name? Oh my God,
bullpen guy or what?
Yeah. I forget what is it. But anyway.
Joe Kelly?
Huh?
Joe Kelly?
Joe Kelly, if he signs with LA, is he good enough? He might.
He was a starter with the Cardinals,
but he wasn't. He was all right with the Dodgers. I love Joe. I think he's great. And I love
after what he did to the Astros, he has my respect.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But we need a good bullpen guy. Bauer should come back. I mean, charges have been dropped, but again, MLB is going to play their dumb games. Watch. I'm telling you, they already know what they're going to do to Bauer.
Manfred
knows. Hashtag Manfred. Aaron, if you could post hashtag Manfred, please.
He said he walked 4 miles straight today. That's a good workout. 4
miles. All right.
That was like me in high school, walking like crazy distances.
Dude, I mean, that's like me at UNLV. I had to walk everywhere. So Aaron, that's good. Can you walk 3 miles right now to get to Vegas? No, I'm just kidding.
There he just said it. Hashtag Manfred. There we go.
Hey, there you go, Aaron.
See, you love to see it because that guy is a disgrace.
He's a freaking fraud. Now, who's worse, Goodell or Manfred? Woo!
Manfred, hands down. He's single-handedly compromised the game of baseball and turned it into a. Basically, he's turned it into the Lakers.
That low.
He's turned the MLB into the Lakers, which is a laughing stock.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he can turn a whole league like that. Goodell's getting close. I mean, he's been there since 2006, so this is his 16th year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We need an all-star pitcher, though. Bauer needs to come back, but he's already going to, you know what Manfred's going to do. Let me add Aaron here.
Yeah, I'll be right back, all right?
All right, cool. Ladies and Aaron, I will add you. Let me add Oscar. Where's Oscar? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a great time on the stream. It is a lot of fun. We are about to transition into something spectacular. We are about to transition into. We're about to transition into a sport called a football. Football. So this is going to be our football discussion, and it's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot to discuss here. Aaron. So Aaron Faxman is going to be coming on along with Oscar Montiel. Duncan, you still here? Oh, he's coming back. Duncan is going to be coming back. So let me add you, Aaron. Hold on a second.
All right. What up?
All right.
Yo, the Fax Mania is running wild, baby.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got Aaron Faxman.
Faxon, but I took the O-N off the N and put M-A-N. on the end for like a gamer tag and a few other things.
Okay, so this Faxon.
Yeah, think of fax on, but one word.
I want to fax you on.
Pretty dope.
Oh, I know you do.
So does Duncan.
Duncan,
Say it again.
donuts
Say it
that go
again.
nuts.
Robert Manfred. Say it.
Hashtag
Robert
Oh,
Manfred.
oh, there you go. By the way, Duncan, Aaron has a real fart noise that he can do. Aaron, show us how it
I don't
goes.
know about this one. Let me hear it. Jesus. Jesus. Sounds like me this morning.
You just so, oh boy, okay. I said one, not a
Look,
whole...
you give me an inch, I take a mile. You got to deal with it now.
What if I give you 5 inches?
So
It's okay.
So we're
Dude,
gonna.
I had 3 fillings in my mouth yesterday.
Oh
Oh, I don't like. I mean, the dentist is nice, but I don't like going.
whoa! I don't either. Now let me see. Duncan, do you see Oscar backstage? Oh wait, and that you
Oh,
wouldn't.
anything backstage. And
Oscar backstage? I don't think so.
the Oscar goes too.
I don't think I can see backstage. Can
No,
I?
you can. Only I can. Let me see here.
Got to have them admin permissions.
Hey, Aaron, you see all these bots there's these bots in this chat right here.
But I've only got one finger to show the bots, and I can't show it right now.
Oh,
Jason, you've been infiltrated by
Been bought.
weird people.
yep.
What else is new?
They're
What are
Aaron's
these
friends.
emojis?
Yeah,
Are
they're
these
my.
bots?
They're
Are
Aaron's
these
friends.
bots?
Yeah.
You know what it is? They're like the robots from iRobot. They're nanobot versions that have infiltrated your computer.
I see this shit on Insta all the time. Like if you look at like meme pages and then like if you go to a
Oh my
post that was posted like
God.
5 minutes ago, like all the
Uh-huh.
bots are in
Yeah.
there and shit.
They
Annoying.
are. They absolutely
It's
are.
bot horrific.
Oscar Montiel, you son of a bitch, you Washington fan. Get out of here, Oscar.
Poor
real quick,
Oscar.
Duncan.
Washington.
Let's do a 1-minute segment on Ukraine.
All right, I could talk about that for a little
Oscar's
bit.
backstage. Let me add Oscar real quick.
I'm not really into politics, but
No.
like,
It's on the
but
Dodgers.
I'll talk about this because this is a big thing that's happening.
So
No, it's
No,
a big
we're
deal.
not going to get political. I'm
There
just
are
saying it's on the Dodgers zone.
too.
Well, yeah, we'll keep it PC.
All right,
but
ladies and gentlemen,
Like streaming services are actually removing their licenses from Russia.
we're going to have Oscar Josue Montiel.
What's good?
Hey!
Yo.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I got my 3 dudes.
so we really talking about Ukraine for a minute?
So
Yeah.
one thing I was
let
going
me-
to say,
60 seconds, Jason, go.
the one thing I was going
It's
to
my channel. You know what, Duncan? We're doing 2 minutes. Just for
Everyone,
Oscar.
now how about this? Everyone gets 60 seconds to say what they
streaming
think.
services are actually like there are some notable streaming services that are actually removing their licenses
All right,
from.
Jason, you're up first. Jason, you get 60 seconds to
Oh,
talk about
are you
Ukraine.
hosting the show?
But
Well,
I'm gonna
while
time
y'all
you.
do
Hold
that,
on.
I'm going to finish uploading my video.
Okay.
all right,
I mean, it doesn't matter, but
There is-
oh,
Video going to finish uploading you.
all right,
oh.
Jason. You get
No. So
60
let me
seconds.
finish. Let me actually introduce everybody that just showed up, ladies and gentlemen. I posted Duncan's website here. Make sure you in the chat, Duncan. I hope you saw that.
You got 45 seconds.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey, I said I'm introducing people first.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
So make sure you check out Duncan and his articles. I saw your Clips and Lakers article right there, and your pretty good looking cover photo. So make sure you look for the good looking, sexy ass cover photo. You know.
Yeah, I'll consider that an opinion, but I don't really agree with you.
Oh, you know the
I
ladies.
think I look like a
Respectfully
mess.
The late Aaron told me, and the ladies told me. But no, I posted.
What ladies? That was
I
Deep
posted
Sibley?
that, and I actually posted in the description, and then I also posted DJ Wood's article. Make sure you check out that, and then in the description is Aaron Faxon's. I said your name wrong in the intro, so I'm sorry about that. Aaron Faxon's podcast, Faxon's Musings. This weekend, he's going to be talking about the Ukraine situation. That's going to be fun, and make sure you watch him on this next dude's podcast. It's Mr. Oscar Josue Montiel on Real Talk with Oscar Montiel.
New co-host, baby.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the new co-host who actually makes it interesting. They do
Just
a
click on my
series
feet, not
together.
Swahili.
They actually do a series together called The Golden Truth. They talk everything Washington, so don't watch it. I'm just kidding. Right, Duncan?
You watch for me, right?
That's right. Don't watch it. Don't watch that
it,
nonsense.
Yeah, see, you watch for me, man. Come on now.
Right. Watch for Aaron.
I'm just joking. I give you cool, Oscar. I'm just messing with you a little bit. Oh man,
Aaron, I see you got a pencil in your ear. You work at Home Depot?
well, I was hoping to pencil you guys in,
If you could put
On
it in
what?
one of my areas, then that'll
and
be
then
fine.
maybe erase you after I'm done with you.
Oh, shoosh. What is this? What sort of...
You can't
That's so
erase the
SpongeBob.
darker colors, though.
I'm like freaking Carrot Top. I'm just kidding. I'll do prop comedy all over your asses.
All over my ass, huh?
Mhm.
Which cheek?
Jason seems to have piqued his interest on that one.
Oh, well, you know, Duncan is secretly playing other games. All right. So make sure you follow Aaron.
Hey,
Faxon's-
Alamio, watch it.
You
I'll
can.
definitely watch it. Make sure you follow Aaron's podcast, Faxman's Musings, and make sure you follow Franchise Sports Media on Instagram, and make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to Oscar Montiel's channel, Real Talk with Oscar Montiel, for the Golden Truth series. If you really want to waste your time doing that, because it's in Washington, and for any other Real Madrid content. All right. On the Ukraine situation, the only thing I have to say is the Dodgers.
You realize that I do other content too, right? You should
You
have
do Real Madrid.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
do
That's
Washington.
soccer. Yeah, you focus more on the Washington, but you forget that I do European soccer content too.
The only reason you should press that post notification bell is if it lets you select what you actually want to hear. And if it says only Real Madrid, then press that post notification bell. I'm just kidding. Press that notification bell. Oscar Montiel.
Is that you see? You like to mock Washington's franchise, yet your franchise is bad too. Your guys are getting rid of your best
The rivalry
player.
But it's
So you know what?
But
You know what?
It's
rivalry-
Washington.
And
Nobody
in
likes
fact-
Washington, right,
in
Duncan?
fact,
The
in
rivalry.
fact,
That's right. That's
the
right.
Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're on a 5-game losing streak now. So you know what? Your city is also associated with losing. So get out of here. Oh yeah, and most importantly, your city's associated with the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know you guys hate that. So you know what? You should stay in your own corner. Stay in your own corner and shut your mouths.
The
I'm gonna say whatever the
guys.
fuck I want on my channel. And second of all, your team is a
Both of you, the
loser
rivalry
ass
is dead.
team. You
The
guys need more
rivalry is
help than
dead.
Dallas. Well, Dallas just needs to get rid of their owners. You guys are embroiled in scandal. You need a quarterback, and you ain't even Commanders. You're losers. All right. All right.
Look,
now that I've said
the
my
rivalry's
piece,
dead. The rivalry's dead.
like Oscar's
doubt.
team. Out. Anyway,
Out the
Like
window.
Las Vegas
Um,
is dead.
Hey,
So-
as a Rams fan, I'm in the center of the rink right now. I'm not going to any corner.
No, I'm just saying, like, ever since the name change, the rivalry basically died.
nah, it's still alive because it's Oscar. But no, Duncan, I wanted to get your opinion on this. Todd Bowley, you know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to buy Chelsea, the soccer team in Ukraine. I just think he doesn't know anything about soccer, and I'm just saying that I
He
don't
can
know
join the
personally,
club,
but huh?
but I don't really know much about soccer either. But
It-
I
it
did
does-
see
No,
that.
I love soccer, but what I'm saying is I don't really think he. I mean, for me, look, the
It
only thing I
only-
can say is
Sorry.
he just wants the money. I don't know that Abramovich, the owner, current owner right now, he's just trying to sell it to someone who could actually take the club forward.
It only makes sense from a PR standpoint because Abramovich wants the heat off of him. He's getting heat because he's Russian, and with everything that's going on, the idea is that Russia should not be involved in international sports.
Yeah.
The only reason that it would make sense, considering the fact that supposedly day-to-day operations of the Chelsea Football Club have been moved to the charity foundation, which, by the way, we still don't know if that can legally be done. Abramovich is still receiving money, but the only way from a PR standpoint that can work is if he sells it.
Well, and the complicated part that the article mentions is it's almost impossible for him to sell it because there's two barriers. One,
then we're frozen.
Yeah, they're trying to freeze his assets. So if they do, then obviously it'll be almost impossible or complicated or impossible virtually. And the other thing is he wants someone to own the club that's going to move it forward. It's a Bully and two other Swiss, I think a Swiss businessman and another London businessman. Bully tried buying the team years ago. So Duncan, do you think that Bully should own the soccer team? He already owns part of the Dodgers. Or
I don't know,
he just
man.
making more money?
It definitely, that's really the only thing that goes behind it, making more money. But to be honest, I'm not sure I can speak on that because just right off the bat, I'd say no, but there might be more to it, right?
If he is willing to leave day-to-day operations in the hands of the charitable foundation, then maybe he can just be a face, like a face for the media of Chelsea.
I mean, Abramovich didn't even he's the owner on paper. He doesn't even show. He doesn't even go to England. Like he doesn't even live in England. Like he just writes his name on a paycheck. So either there are decisions that were made without him now, club decisions, not manager decisions. I don't know if he's involved in that or not, but I know that club decisions with bringing in players and things like that, he's involved in. Because from what I understood is that he's not there, you're never heard of him. Like literally, if I were to ask Echo, and I say Echo so that way, who the Chelsea owner is right now, they'll tell you something different. So, I didn't even know he was the owner of the team until recently.
Yeah.
So, okay. That is it on Ukraine. I just wanted to get that out of the way because Oscar told me about it this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk NFL. From one awful, crappy, shitty commissioner to another. Don't we love our horrible, horrible commissioners, ladies and gentlemen? Let me hear an amen. From hashtag Manfred to
No
Goodell.
good Goodell.
No good Goodell. Oh, that's a good one. Let's go to Dallas.
Or hashtag no good Goodell.
Hashtag no good. Oh!
No Goodell.
Oh, no Goodell. Which one works better? Hashtag no good Goodell or hashtag no Goodell?
I think no good Goodell works better only because you want to be able to distinguish between his name and the fact that we're saying he's crap.
I think it speaks for itself, though. We don't even have to say it.
Either way,
the whole world knows he's
either
crap.
way. I can start a hashtag. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Let's do a hashtag no Goodell.
The farmer and the no Goodell.
Oscar, what do you think?
All right, what?
Should we? Fucking Washington fans, they never listen.
No, it's just I'm multitasking.
Oh, you know how to do that, huh? Okay. Should it
No,
be?
because so what happened was I was trying to I was on the way of uploading this video before your live stream, but then Chrome decides to crash on me, and it stopped the upload. So I had to delete the upload, and now I just decided to re-upload it on Safari. So that's why I'm sorry. I'm just multitasking because I have no choice.
You're good.
Well, if you want, so just answer this question, and then I'll ask these two gentlemen to comment, and you jump in when you're ready.
Yeah.
On the topics, but hashtag no Goodell or hashtag no good Goodell?
No
Goodell?
No Goodell, yeah.
Okay. Aaron, if you could do hashtag no Goodell in the chat.
Bro, I got you. Like a bad habit, I've got you.
And make sure you write it with your ears, please. I want your ears.
Oh, absolutely. My tongue
phone.
is doing it too.
Oh, jeez, don't get me started.
Too late.
Oh, okay. Let me know. Let me know when you got it there.
No Goodell.
It's
Hashtag no Goodell. We don't want them. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas. Stephen Jones is apparently taking the reins from his daddy, Jerry.
My favorite
And
always be the the punt that hits the AT&T Stadium screen at the top. That's probably still always be my favorite moment because they had to redo the punt.
That's right. Yeah. So there is news, a lot of news regarding Dallas. Let's talk the main news. I wanted to do free agency. Obviously, time is going to not permit us to do that. But let's talk about a guy who might be released or traded. Now, Amari freaking Cooper, the number one receiver on the Dallas Cowboys. Stephen Jones is saying, Daddy, let me show you how much I can take your team to the ground. Take it downhill. He is thinking of either A, releasing Amari Cooper, or B, trading him. It's a stupid decision. I just don't like it at all. What you're doing is you're taking him and putting CeeDee Lamb on number one duty, up from number two. You're taking Michael Gallup from number 3 to number 2. And then they want to tag Dalton Schultz as the franchisee. They want to pay him $11 million. Do you really want to pay $11 million for 1 year for a tight end? I don't think so. I don't buy it. I think if you're going to franchise him, pay him for multi-years. Duncan, let me go to you first. What's your take on this here?
My take is that your Cowboys are broke as fuck, and they can't afford Amari Cooper.
There's a clear problem with using a franchise tag for any team, and that is when you do that, you are establishing a precedent of value for that specific player. And when you do that, you can't pay him. No team can pay him any. You saw it with Kirk Cousins. He got franchise tagged when he was in Washington 2 years in a row, and his value in the franchise tag went up each year. And the problem with doing that is if your cap space isn't big enough, when you franchise tag somebody, by the time those franchise tags run out, you can't afford to keep them.
Yeah, and I agree, and I agree because here's the thing. Dak Prescott, so he got franchise tagged the year that he got hurt.
Yep.
So the reason why they probably didn't want to franchise tag him again is because say because back then when Kirk Cousins would got franchised back to back, the first franchise tag back then was I think 25 mil or something like that. 25 million for the franchise tag, and then the second year was 30 mil. So obviously this year, or the year that Dak Prescott got franchise tagged, it was, I believe, 35 million. So obviously he was like, oh, hey, I got franchise tagged for 35 million. I want 40 million.
Yep.
Is he worth that money?
You can't go any less than that.
Is he worth that money? No. But unfortunately, the Cowboys were backed into the corner because they were like, do we really want to start over with a quarterback? So I feel like the Jones family were backed in the corner and forced to give Dak Prescott a boatload of money instead of giving him another 1 year prove-it deal. Because say he played on the franchise tag this past year. Say that would happen. I guarantee you he would have said, oh, this year we made it to the playoffs. Give me more money than 40 million. I guarantee you his asking price would have been probably 40, 42, or 45 million. So either way, Dallas was going to be screwed either way. Or they could have just said taken the safe route and said, you know what? You're not worth 40 million. We'll just start from scratch. We'll find another quarterback.
Duncan, what's your...
Okay, mark my words. CeeDee Lamb, okay, first off, if it isn't broken, don't try to fix it. That's one. 2, Amari Cooper being released or traded is where CeeDee Lamb's career goes to die. Plain and simple. Because no offense to Michael Gallup, no offense to Dalton Schultz. Those two guys are guys that need to be thrown open. Amari Cooper is the only guy that can run routes to get himself open and make easy targets for Dak Prescott. All your other receivers, your tight ends, need to be thrown open, and that's why you have to go off the running game first so you can spread out a defense. Right now, if Amari Cooper is released or traded, to me, you have no offensive productivity through the air.
Duncan?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Amari Cooper is definitely that guy that can get things done on offense, and I think it's been proven with his relationship with Dak Prescott on the field the past few seasons. So getting hit with insufficient funds, because that's kind of where they are right now. And
I'm just imagining Jerry Jones going up to like a friggin' vending machine and there's a player face on it and he just swipes it and it says,
the Cowboy credit card that
It
declined,
was
bro.
was it
It got declined.
Cowboy
at the
vending machine?
Get that money back from Dak, Jerry. Get it back.
Yeah. So, I mean, losing Amari Cooper is gonna it's gonna suck offensively for the Cowboys, or it's gonna make them not be so good and
To make them one-dimensional because all they can do is
one-dimensional. Yeah.
run the ball. All they can do
is run the ball. They can't throw any passes. They can't split the defense. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't have Dak running
Not to
quarterback runs. They can't do any designs.
And even then, sometimes even with Amari Cooper there, sometimes I don't know what's going on with the offensive coordinator, but even sometimes he doesn't realize that he has weapons in the backfield and just doesn't run the ball when he should.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you take a look, I hope I'm going on the right track here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron or Oscar or Duncan. Wow, I got 3 guests first time. Well, I know maybe, but
Good man.
But the if you look at the offense that Dallas had this last season, they were the number 1 in penalties. They were the number 2 in penalty yards. They were in penalty gaps and all of that. That was all on the. That was not on the defense.
It
Contrary
was
to what
at crappy times because
that was on the offense.
Yeah, you could be at 4th and 1 and think, or like 4th and less than a yard, and let's get Dak Prescott to sneak it in because he's good at the quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden there's an offsides penalty, and now it goes from like 4th and 1 to 4th and 6, and that changes the decision of going for a field goal or going for it on 4th down.
And most time, if you go for a field goal, Greg, the leg is not gonna freaking kick.
Exactly, and that's the thing. If you can't trust it, and you're having to go for it on 4th and 5 or greater, and the only thing you can do is run the ball, you're going to get stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Let me ask you guys something. Can I ask you guys something? So I'm not gonna say we because I don't give a shit about the Cowboys, but if the Cowboys drop Amari Cooper, right, and to save cap space, what would your predictions about their record next year be like?
They're gonna go to 5 games and that's it.
No, I'm going to be a little bit generous. I'm going to be a little bit generous here, and I'm going to say.
Don't be generous.
I'm going to say 8 and 10.
8 and 10.
Really?
Missing the playoffs at 8 and 10. I could see
that. I think. Well, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
No. So here's the thing. The NFC East in recent years has been the NFC least.
Yes.
So if you want to look at it from a standpoint, 8 and 10 does not necessarily mean missing the playoffs in the NFC East. They still could make it. But
wait, wouldn't it be 7 and 10? Or do they?
Well, no, remember because the 18-week season has become a permanent thing. It's not.
They still got that bye though, right?
No, yes, they do. But what I'm saying is they are taking 1 week away from the preseason and putting it into the regular season.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. They just keep expanding this.
Considering nobody watches the preseason anyway, it's a smart move because they want more eyes on the product.
That's right. So it was 5 weeks. Now it's 4 weeks. But now you put that 1 game into the 17. It makes it for a longer season. I don't like the Super Bowl being in the middle of February. It's weird. But
it also makes for like conference games between the NFC and AFC. It also makes those kind of games happen more frequently because you have to have let's say you have the NFC East facing the AFC North that year, but then because there's an extra game, you have to pick one team from either the AFC East, AFC West, or AFC South. You have to pick one of those teams to go in there and play against the NFC East, and that's a matchup that you would normally have only seen once every 3 years.
Yep, that's true. But the thing with the Cowboys is, without Amari Cooper, they're going to be one-dimensional. They're only going to be able to run the ball. They're not going to be able to play it. They're not going to be able to do quarterback sneaks, or maybe you'll be able to do, but quarterback runs, quarterback plays.
They're not going to be
their defense is not going to be great. The wraparounds are right. But the LeVar and I forget what's his other name on Undisputed was on ESPN were saying, yeah, the offense can do great. But I don't think so, because all you do is, okay, fine, you win the division every other year. You go to the round one of the playoffs. You lose to teams you should beat, and then you end up right in the same place. I think what they should do with Amari Cooper's
catch. Dalton Schultz is a speedy tight end, not a physical one.
He can't keep the ball in his hands, though.
Well, that's the point I'm making too. Is like he's got holes in his game that the Cowboys can't afford to have. And I know you don't want to ask this question, but I'm gonna bring an opinion on it anyways. If for some reason Amari Cooper does leave,
which is likely,
he has quite a market out there as far as teams that need people. I mean, I'm not saying you'd want this to happen, but imagine if he went to Washington and was on the other side of Terry McLaurin.
Oh, it's dangerous.
It really,
like I was telling Oscar this morning,
there are so many teams that are one wide receiver away from busting out like nobody's business.
That's true.
But Washington would not bust out. I think Washington would do better, but they need that quarterback to match that.
Well, they want Gibson to run the ball, and then you have two wide receivers that, even with safety help over the top, you're closing one down but opening things up for the other.
What if Amari Cooper joined Debo Samuels over in the 49ers?
That would be amazing. Also got George.
Oh my God.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Oh.
That I'm just.
But then also that also is a situation with the quarterback. Who's going to be the quarterback this year?
Exactly.
Actually, you know where I'd love to see Amari Cooper go if he got the chance to? Put him on the other side of A.J. Brown over in Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Tennessee was already excellent this year.
They got Julio Jones, though.
Put Derrick Henry.
They got Julio Jones, though. So I don't know if Amari Cooper would be okay with sitting as a third option, because A.J. Brown is arguably already a number one. Julio Jones, I mean, he's good, but I feel like he's a solid number two. His production has dropped, though. Exactly. He's a number two. So I don't know if Amari Cooper or Julio Jones, either one would settle to be a number three. I
think it comes down to are they willing to put all their egos aside and say, hey, this is what we have to do to go out and win a championship.
Well, there's a difference between the Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans, because the Cowboys are always under the microscope. The egos that are in that locker room are always going to be bigger.
Oh yeah.
The Titans were the number one seed. They were the number eyes were all
but
on
they got
them.
dropped by the number 6.
Yeah, but all eyes were on them. They're like, oh, sweet.
But not the entire season, though.
Tennessee.
True. They dropped the game to Jacksonville this year.
And if Amari Cooper and Julio Jones sort of, disagree on how they're looked at as options, maybe it comes down to who ends up running the better routes. If Amari Cooper goes out there and continues to run it,
or you know what, send him to Indy alongside T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, there's so many options.
I mean, poetic justice would be if he goes back to, well, the Raiders, because they used to be the Oakland Raiders when he was traded away. But because I mean that old regime is no longer there. The Raiders
could use a good receiver. They could.
Yeah, the Raiders do need someone to be paired up with
Derek Carr.
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Put him beside Jerry Jeudy in Denver.
Now, let's go back to the Raiders. I think that would be great. Amari Cooper alongside Hunter Renfrow, because Hunter Renfrow's already out
and
there.
Jason can hear Coop from 30
Jason, your team might actually
down the road.
Or what you could do also is send him over to Arizona as well.
DeAndre Hopkins on
one side, Amari Cooper on the other.
Yeah, you can't sit here and say you can't have two great wide receivers. Look at the Rams. They had Cooper Kupp as their number one option, and then we got OBJ.
No, but the Eagles, you got to remember the Eagles. DeAndre Hopkins has an ego. And
so does Amari Cooper.
No, what would be a dumb decision is to put him opposite Tyreek Hill in Kansas City.
And plus, Stewart Little, if he overshoots Amari Cooper, remember, Amari Cooper was getting upset with Dak Prescott because he wasn't feeding him the ball.
That's right.
So imagine,
like if
he goes somewhere where he will get fed the ball, then
stop trying to interrupt.
Sorry.
Oh no, he meant Aaron.
No,
like imagine
Oscar then Duncan.
If Stewart Little overthrows him, imagine how upset Amari Cooper and because DeAndre Hopkins upset at the fact that Stewart Little isn't accurate. So imagine imagine that times 2.
Duncan, let's get your opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. Egos. You can put aside egos. I know it sounds like crazy, but
egos cannot be put aside if you're a part of a storied franchise, and that has been a history.
Oh, but if you're settling let's go back to the Titans. Okay, so if Amari Cooper suddenly becomes a third option, egos can be put aside when it comes down to who's running the better routes at the end of the day, who's introducing themselves as the number one option. Okay,
if you really are a team player, you can coexist. If you really are a team player, you can coexist.
If you're a team player, you can coexist. But if you're an I guy, and when I played baseball, that was something my coach would always say: "Don't be an I guy. You play for the name on the front of your jersey, not on the back."
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly the point I'm making.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, the year they had Terrell Owens, they had Miles Austin, they couldn't put those egos aside, and it hurt them. It hurt their record. Look at when the T.O. show was in Cincinnati. You had 2 guys whose egos were so big, they couldn't, one of them had to go.
Mm-hmm.
There are evidences with teams that when the spotlight is on you and you have a lot of star players, these players are going to want the spotlight simply because they know, like, any player that says they don't listen to the media is so full of crap, their eyes are brown.
Definitely. You just know that media lives in their heads rent free. Like, look at a guy like LeBron, right? He's so infamous.
Look
so
at
infamous. OBJ, all these people that are
Antonio Brown.
In the media, they can say that. Yeah. And LeBron's like, I ain't got no worries. Like, buddy, I know that shit gets to you. And it's understandable because the media can be relentless sometimes. But when we're looking at egos.
Yeah, exactly. And they're human.
Yeah.
I mean,
the media can
look at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's now coming out saying, guys, my mental health is shit right now because you guys keep doing this. And I'm glad that Dak Prescott's coming out about this because we sit here talking about, the Dak Prescott don't do this, Dak Prescott don't do that. And I mean, look, it does. I know a lot of people don't pay attention to what's that disease that NFL players get?
Concussion.
CTE.
What is it?
CTE, brain injury.
CTE, brain injury. Right. And they don't talk about that now. They're kind of talking about it. And mental health is something they're not talking about. And then it does get to you because you're thinking, am I not doing it? Am I not doing right? Am I this? Am I that? And look, Dak, if you put Amari Cooper, I mean, here's another crazy idea. Could you take him and put him on the Rams, Duncan?
No. We already have too many.
There's too many mouths.
Yeah. That is one of those instances where I think the egos would collide. A young, humble guy like Cooper Kupp would suddenly become not so humble, possibly.
He's already got the Super Bowl MVP. He's like, you know what? It only gets better for me from here. He's thinking, I've got the notoriety now.
Exactly.
And this is the thing I'm talking about. The eyes right now are on LA simply because they're the champions. They're holding that trophy. They're toting that barge. And when you give a player that MVP trophy, you are saying your team is good, but you stand out amongst all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Super Bowl MVPs more than the championship itself. Those MVP awards feed your legend. Why do you think Aaron Rodgers has 3 of them?
Yeah,
he has 3 of them in 1 Super Bowl ring. And people talk about Dak Prescott failing. So does Aaron Rodgers. Now, could you see him in KC?
He fails a lot, that's for sure.
KC, I see them in if their running game was better. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's his running ability has faltered over the years. like this year and last year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire seems to be bending a little bit under the physicality of the teams they're playing.
Duncan or Oscar, any of you want to jump in on Amari Cooper and Casey?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay. I mean, yes, because here's the thing. They also,
Tyreek.
I mean, what's it? Tyreek Hill? He's a speedster. I'm not convinced by Byron Pringle and the other guy. I can't remember what this guy.
Travis Kelce.
No, he's a wide
Not
receiver.
Kelsey.
I'm not convinced by the rest of the receiving core aside from Tyreek Hill. I mean, those two guys, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, are great, but I feel like if Patrick Mahomes had another weapon, and that weapon is Amari Cooper, there you go. I honestly think, because I feel like Patrick Mahomes, even though he overthrows and does random passes or sometimes throws interceptions when he doesn't need to, it's because he doesn't have
The game against the Bills.
other wide receivers aside from throwing to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So
We haven't talked about this option yet, but what if Amari Cooper went to Buffalo?
No.
Now that would be insane. Because the productivity
like Josh
Allen has already, and then you put a weapon like that in his hands, that would be really scary. I mean, look what they did to New England last year, like 7 straight touchdowns in the freaking divisional round.
Yeah, definitely. And then in the playoffs, we had, it was just Josh Allen with his one receiver getting 5 touchdowns. Imagine if he had another option.
Oh my gosh!
Oh Jesus!
Like that's
just one receiver, one reliable receiver.
A bomb of offenses.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper is that weapon. So whether you put him with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and KC, whether you put him over there in Buffalo, whether you put him in over there with Hunter Renfro, and Derek Carr and all of them, whether you put him with
he's gonna be a kid in a freaking.
I forget who else we talked about, but you put him anywhere with those guys, he's gonna be a scary weapon. Now, here's where the Dallas Cowboys made a mistake the first time. They get him in 2018. They let him go on the open market. They let Washington raise his asking price. Ron Rivera comes in and says, I'll pay you $20 million. He says, nah, I'd rather stay with Dallas for some reason. And they pay him like $22 million. They pay him $22 million. Here's where, and they did that to themselves. That's why. They could have paid him $15-ish million and they'd still have money to play with. You get rid of Amari Cooper, you have $60 million to play with. However, here's what I think they should do. You take his salary and then you restructure it. You restructure it to where you pay him $5-10 million a year. Now you've got money to play with. Instead of releasing him, I think you restructure his salary to $5-10 million a year. Duncan, what do you think on that? If you're Dallas,
definitely.
I don't think Cooper would go for it.
You don't think that?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If he loves Dallas so much, would he take that lower pay? I wouldn't.
You can't tell me that Cooper is not seeing the fact that there's a candy store waiting for him out there, and he's a kid getting ready to go right into it.
Well, it comes down to his loyalty in Dallas, and I just don't see it. I mean, it sounds like a great plan on paper, but yeah, what Aaron's saying is that Amari Cooper has to know that several teams are going to be in the interest of buying him out for a lot of money, and not only that, he'll be put on a championship contending team.
He'll be put on a freaking pedestal.
Oh,
yeah, he'll be put on and he'll have a legitimate chance, a better chance than he did in Dallas of getting a ring.
And this is the thing too.
But does it depend on if he can get along with the quarterback though?
See, and that's
it won't be as bad as Antonio
argument
Brown.
that I've made before. Sorry, that's the argument that I made before of like quarterbacks are seeking out certain wide receivers for teams to sign simply out of comfortability. You saw it with Tom Brady trying to get Rob Gronkowski down in Tampa. You saw it with Aaron Rodgers trying to get Randall Cobb back in Green Bay. But I think where Amari Cooper is at if you're going to do that, he has to spend a couple of years out of Dallas so that he knows the grass is not greener.
Yeah.
Oscar, I know you're multitasking over there.
About what?
You look stressed. You look stressed, boss. You good?
This video.
Do you need to go or are you okay?
No, I'm good.
We got another bot in the chat.
Oh boy.
Gracias.
We were.
And of course, I get mail.
Oh.
See you.
Amari Cooper has to see that the grass is not greener. If he doesn't like where he's at when he tests the market, he's going to come back and he's going to take whatever price Dallas wants to give him. But
the restructure. I honestly don't think he's going to settle for the restructure.
That's what I said too.
I don't think that his love of Dallas is that much.
Yeah.
Especially if he's already voiced his unhappiness when Dak Prescott doesn't throw him the ball.
I think that's a symptom of it being Dallas and the microscope and the media being all over you guys more than anything, because he wanted more than anything, I think, to be the solution that would help Dallas get to a championship. And logistically, the way things are, it just couldn't happen.
Yeah, I think Cooper is Amari Cooper is seeing the writing on the wall. Stephen Jones ain't want me. And I think I love Amari Cooper. He's one of my favorite players. One of my top 5 players on the team. However, I think if I was Amari Cooper, I'd be reading the writing on the wall going, okay, look, they don't want me here. I got to find some other place to go. Who is that? Now, are the teams going to want to pay that high salary, though? I don't.
Yes.
I think it depends on the team.
I don't know.
A larger market team.
A larger cap
like
space will absolutely pay that for him. Absolutely. You got to look at which teams have a higher cap space. You got to look at which teams. If you find a team that has a high amount of cap space and needs a number 1 guy, you just insert him in there and watch the motor rev, baby.
What about a team like New England who's got a young quarterback in Mac Jones that has shown potential?
That's point 2. But at the
that's someone Aaron said.
Any other notable wide receivers?
The scheme,
you only got Amari Cooper.
And the question also, you guys all got to put this in factor. I honestly don't think New England is going to be an option. Just because who knows what the scheme is going to look like, because Josh McDaniels isn't there. So it would have to depend on what the scheme is going to look like.
What about Chicago?
No.
He'd be wasting his time.
He would.
That's where he's gonna die.
It's the same thing if he were to go to Atlanta as well.
Oh, come on. Atlanta ain't going anywhere.
Well, because
they had their chance. Atlanta had their chance, and they
did, and they ruined it against Brady.
Rid of Matt Ryan. Matty Ice warmed up. Matty Ice melted.
Yeah, I mean,
Matty Ice freaking melted, bro.
The defense did too. Jesus,
yeah,
really let them back in that one. I mean, come on, he posted 28 points. That's enough for a quarterback. I think he did his job. It's just his defense.
Hey guys, Jacksonville put Amari Cooper in Jacksonville. Now there's
put him on the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Put him on the Jets.
the Jets.
Actually,
or the Giants. Put him on the Giants.
No. Actually, that's not a bad idea because
Jason, you better be careful with that because Brian Dable. I'm excited to see what this guy does as a head coach. Because what he did with Josh Allen, and here's the thing: the Giants already are. They have actually a solid wide receiving core.
So you don't think that adding Cooper to it would be a difference?
Washington before he went to the Jets?
No. It would be a huge difference. That's what I'm saying. You better hope that. Look, you as a Cowboys fan, here are the teams you're trying to avoid: the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders. Because the Eagles, I mean, they need a quarterback because I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be.
Oh gosh. Okay, when we talked about the Jets, who was number 8?
Aaron, stop interrupting and stop jumping all over the place.
Those legs are very fine, Aaron, but Oscar gets cranky.
Oh no, it's just there was a name I was trying to figure out because we were talking about the Jets a little while ago, and there was a guy who was number 80 for Washington, and then he went to the Jets.
Jamison Crowder.
Jamison Crowder, thank you. That's who he'd be opposing if you put Amari Cooper with the Jets. Thank you.
But if you put him with the Giants, he's another weapon, and the Giants would come and smash Washington. They'd come and smash Cowboys. They'd come and smash the Eagles. Yeah, they would. The Giants would be back to their normal selves with Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and here's the thing: the Eagles. I mean, aside, I don't think Jalen Hurts is it, but if you get any other quarterback in there, you have him paired up with Devontae Smith. That's going to be another threat.
All I know is, like Freddie Freeman, like we were talking about in baseball, Duncan and I, Freddie Freeman, if he leaves Atlanta, which is absolutely likely and probably most likely going to happen. We didn't really get to finish that discussion, Duncan, but I know. But, he's likely going to go to the Dodgers, I think. But he's like Freddie Freeman, the first baseman from Atlanta. He's not Amari Cooper is not going to go to a low market rebuilding type of team. Dallas is always rebuilding. He's tired of that. Amari Cooper is a caliber player. I think he's a championship caliber player, and he's underused. And I think if Stephen Jones, you know what? If Stephen Jones makes this move, I think it's gonna show how mediocre he is. I think it's gonna show how crappy he is, and I think it's gonna really be a bite in the ass for the Cowboys. It's gonna come back to bite them in the ass because karma's a real bee, and you know it. Because let's say he does go to New York. Let's say he does go to KC. Let's say he does go to San Francisco or, God, if he comes to Las Vegas. Either way, he's a weapon every one of those teams want, and they will pay big money, as you guys said. So, look, tagging Dalton Schultz and all. Look, I just and I'm just not a fan of getting rid of Amari Cooper. Nobody in Cowboys world enjoys it, and everyone always asks me. You only have yourself that's the Cowboys fan who talks about the Cowboys on your channel. Otherwise, you have all the other guests who are not. I'm like, well, because no other Cowboys fan wants to come on in. I mean, I'm getting 3 views from 3 guys that like 3 separate teams. A Washington fan, a Baltimore Ravens fan, and an LA Rams fan. So it's like 3 different divisions I'm getting, right? So
3 different worlds, too.
3 different worlds. It's all...
I'm sitting here on my successes, and then you're sitting there on your failures.
Oh, Duncan.
You'll know what it's like one day. You'll
know what it's.
You too. I don't know about you, Oscar. Washington's never won it.
Yeehaw!
The monkey laugh going.
Funny. I like how he stayed silent too.
Again, wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, all right. He's probably looking at these goons over there.
Hey, Jason, I probably gotta go soon. But
all right. I was gonna talk about who's facing more pressure, Dak or McCarthy. But if you need to go now, then
talk about Brady. Talk about Brady real quick.
Talk about Brady real quick. Also, I think Aaron left like 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure what happened.
Is that why it's quiet?
No wonder I haven't heard any interruptions.
McCarthy, he's just. Oh, it says he got kicked. You kicked him, or Jason? Damn.
Aaron, what happened?
Jason, you kicked Aaron? Damn. That's foul, bro.
I honestly think that it's Chrome.
I think it's Chrome. Aaron, you there?
Aaron, you good?
I'm here.
Okay, because
you're breathing like you just walked a mile.
You're breathing you're breathing like Naeem.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, but you want to talk about Brady before I dip?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that real fast.
Let's talk about Brady. So Tom Brady, there is a rumor going around that, of course, he might do a comeback. Please, dear God, don't.
Oh, I want to retire. Oh, I don't want to retire.
So you want to hear my theory about Tom Brady?
But hold on. Let me introduce the topic.
All right.
But there is another rumor that said that he only retired because he didn't want to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer anymore. He didn't want to be on the Buccaneers, and he probably wants to go to San Francisco. Now we've talked about after a decade ago of being his backup, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo wants to do that. So what is your take? Let's start with Duncan, since he has to leave soon, that he only retired because he didn't want to be a Buck anymore.
I think he retired because he wants to go into broadcasting. So not a lot of people are talking about it, but Sean McVay was offered a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, to go into Amazon and be an announcer, basically to go into broadcasting. So they're trying to get Sean McVay out of the coaching position and get him into the broadcast booth. I think they're trying to do the same thing with Tom Brady. So what it comes down to is Tom Brady really ready to accept that he's retired and get into the broadcast booth and start announcing, or is this suddenly a wake-up call for him that maybe he does want to continue playing while he still can? So to see him go to the 49ers would be weird, to say the
we
least.
can hear your phone. Go ahead, Duncan.
It'd be weird, to say the least. But I'm not ruling it out yet. I think he's gonna stick with the football community and either continue playing or go into broadcasting.
I don't see him as a broadcaster. His voice just doesn't. Tony Romo's voice didn't fit it, but now I really like him as a broadcaster.
Tony Romo as a broadcaster, but
I didn't see him as a broadcaster for sure in 2016.
Well,
But
what
here's
about
the thing.
Drew Brees as an interviewer? I didn't see Drew Brees.
I didn't see Drew Brees as anything in the media. I honestly was like, what are you doing? But here's the thing. Tom Brady is too competitive. Tom Brady, he's not great, but he is.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but
I will.
All right.
But I don't. His competitive spirit is up here.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's up high. I don't see Brady going in the broadcast booth having to sit there. Yeah, and this guy's doing that and this and that. That's how he talks to me, right? But that's how he sounds like that to me. But I don't. What it sounds. I don't think he's gonna go into broadcasting. Do you believe the rumor that? Well, he really didn't want to be a Buck, so he's just waiting to get on another team. And why would he retire?
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that they want him to go into broadcasting, like Troy Aikman or something. Sure. They want his opinion. They want to hear from the GOAT, basically.
There's so much more of a mature way to do that. Like, why would you fake a retirement just to come back? Like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of a dick move, especially when I feel like Tom Brady would have a little bit more integrity and professionalism than to basically just wave a giant middle finger in the face of the Tampa Bay organization when they went out to get Rob Gronkowski on their team specifically so he'd be more comfortable.
You're right. He announced it. Is this the first time? I think this is the first time he's really made an announcement like this. So for him to come back after all,
I'm sick and tired of
said
this
and done.
Super League.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of like it's kind of like a LeBron move to say, "Oh no, I'm doing this. Oh wait, no, all of a sudden I'm doing that."
Sorry to interrupt, but just for me, I would think he would go out and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Brady. I'm the GOAT." He's not, but I'm the greatest of all time. You need to have me on your team. Get me on there. Here's my asking price. Obviously, he's a very highly paid quarterback. How much was he making? Like,
he's at a point right now where he'd be in a power struggle with any coach that I think.
Oscar.
Sorry, what?
Your phone is that loud, dude.
All right, Jason. I'm gonna
all right, Duncan. Thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Duncan, yeah, you're freaking awesome, bro.
Yeah, good seeing you, Aaron. I'll be back on here sometime.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we'll be here next week talking about the lockout, man.
Hopefully,
Manfred's gonna do something.
Hopefully, wait, who?
Oh, Manfred. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know who Manfred is, but yeah. So
He's
hopefully there's more positive updates next time I'm on here. But all right, I'll see you guys. All right.
All right, you guys. All right, Duncan. Thank you so much for coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Before I let Aaron continue, make sure you check out Franchise Sports Media and check out that good-looking, sexy-ass cover photo of Duncan Dye covering the Clips and the Lakers. Lakers doing an absolutely abominable job, as we went over in the beginning of the podcast, of the stream, of the podcast stream, whatever it is. Make sure you check them out on Instagram too. They post every day, every week on LA and Vegas. Vegas and LA, the Raiders, unfortunately. Pretty sure they'll post about the Las Vegas Lights, the Nighthawks, the Golden Knights, anything that's going on, probably the Aviators too, probably the Aviators, I would say. And of course, the LA Dodgers, the LA Rams, the LA Lakers, all of that. So make sure you check them out. Aaron, go ahead and continue your point.
Tom Brady is at a point where I think he has hit rarefied air in the point where he is in a league all his own, in that he knows the game so well that I think that he'd be in a power struggle wherever he goes. Like no head coach would be able to outrule him simply based on his experience. And I think in any broadcast booth, he would instantly be, even though he's not the kind of person to do this, he'd almost be instantly taking center stage wherever he goes. Not to mention the fact that there was an article on NFL Network by Ian Rappaport that said where Tom Brady was quoted as saying the reason he retired was so he could spend more time with his wife and son.
Yeah, but
if
I
that's
mean,
true, I
again,
don't see him coming back.
you don't see him coming back. I kind of do and I kind of
true.
don't. Because here's the thing, I kind of do and I kind of don't, because he's too competitive to say, all right, you guys, I'm gonna put away the cleats. I'm done. Thank you for having me. I honestly do not see him going into broadcasting so quickly. But why would he then go and get to why would he not, like I said, not say, hey, I want to be traded to this team, that team? I mean, it just makes no sense why he wouldn't do that and why he would retire. That's why the rumor to me is a little weird. I've never seen a football player retire and then come. I've never seen a baseball player do that. I've seen boxers do it, but it's not like they're on a team. They're by themselves.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre did it.
Brett Favre. Okay,
Yeah.
Brett Favre. You guys are the NFL nerds, so.
Well, because he did it. He was actually so originally when he left Green Bay, he went to the Jets and finished out his career in Minnesota. But the problem with him, because he stayed in too long, that 1 year that he was in with Minnesota, he got hit from the back and dislocated his shoulder, and he was never the same.
Yeah, because after that, he literally this dude, he kept on getting hurt every single game. Like, I remember one game, he got hurt on his shoulder. The next game, he had a knee injury. The next game, he got hit on the chin and was cutting and bleeding. The next game, his hands were purple. Like, dude, this dude, if that was the definition of grandpa time right there.
Ben Roethlisberger was at the same crossroads this year.
Yeah, Big Ben retiring. That was.
I think he did it at the right time, but I think
Crazy.
if Big Ben had gone a year more, he'd have been in the exact same boat Brett Favre was when he was in Minnesota. Because the teams that they're playing, the defenses are better than they like. Say what you will about the way offensive penalties are in favoring the offense, but defenses have done a fantastic job of retooling their game to be able to accommodate for that. And I think Big Ben, even though he's big, his body is more sensitive than it used to be. And I don't think he'd be able to continue to take the hits that he's taken. I mean, if you chip away at a block of solid ice with a chisel for long enough, you're going to start to see the cracks.
You're talking about a block of ice versus a human being, though.
No, but Big Ben, like his toughness.
Yeah, I'm a little confused at your comparison.
My point is. No, my point is. My point is Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, y'all. We are all grown men here. Can we quit it with the fart jokes?
You're not. You like Washington.
Oh.
Aaron used to like Washington, so
I used to.
Ow! Oh, see, he grew up. Well, kind of.
Well, I hang out with
Aaron, you're a fake fan. Want to know why? I don't care. I don't. You abandon the team when they change the name. I guarantee you, if the whole entire Dan Snyder
If I
situation
took my
wouldn't have come
face
to
off, would you
light,
still see me the
if
same
you-
person? If I took my face off, would you still see me as the same person?
yes,
Doubt it.
If you make the same fart noises, I would.
exactly.
If I had no eyes, no nose, and no mouth,
Yeah.
I think you're bullshitting.
Hold on. Let me get back to the chair because I went and got another soda.
No, but here's the thing. I can't. For me to support them would be to support what would be to condone Dan Snyder's actions, and I can't do that.
Okay, so here we go. Look, listen, on the Tom Brady thing, I don't think it's real. I'm 50-50 on it. You never know with him, but
I'm just gonna sit and wait, and if he is not signed by August 30, by some point by late August, I know that dude is officially retired. Because I remember
I
when
think
Brett
he did
Favre, when Brett Favre retired, or the first time after playing the year with the Jets, he didn't come back until like August.
I thought that was the second time. Didn't he retire after leaving Green Bay as well?
Oh, he didn't. This dude retired so many times. I'm like, I can't
I
even
swear it was
keep track.
twice. It was
I think he
twice.
was thinking which pension is
Well,
higher.
3 times. The third time stuck.
Yeah, well, because I bet his wife was like, "Stop," but also I'm pretty sure he was like, "Which pension's going to be higher?"
Well, it's okay. Look, here's the thing. Tom Brady's in the same boat in that now he's so freaking famous. He could do any freaking commercial he wants and be set for life.
That's true. Oh, look at 50 Cent and vitamin water. That's where he made all his money.
Exactly. And then he's getting free vitamin waters at the wazoo too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. You've got Frank Wright, who's now doing the stupid Nugenics commercials. So he's making money with that.
Yeah.
You've got.
I did not know.
You got-
I did not know about that.
Look. You've got Troy Polamalu, who's doing that freaking deodorant commercial with the Old Spice commercial with Patrick Mahomes, where he's always working.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is doing
He's doing commercials while he's working though.
Yes,
basically.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what commercial gets on my nerves?
which one?
Rob Gronkowski.
The Rob Gronkowski. That makes him look like an idiot.
Where
Like
he's
the
like,
Verizon one where he goes,
No, the
Dude,
no,
AAA.
the VA one where he's
The
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'd like to get a loan. Okay, what's your ID number? I'm number
87.
40. What is it? His number, football number.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's like, Mr. Gronkowski, we only serve veterans who are special to us or whatever. He's like, I'm special.
What about Aaron Rodgers and that State Farm stuff?
Oh yeah.
It's the Rodgers rate. It's the Rodgers rate.
Yo.
And he's got the guy in the Vikings jersey wearing a cheese head. I'm like, no. Let's just say no to that. And then there's a whole bunch of examples of athletes doing. I think they did one where it was like a Coke commercial with Mean Joe Green.
Did they?
Oh my gosh, it's awful. Like there are some commercials that are genuinely good, and then there are some that are absolutely terrible.
Yeah, there are.
But you could you retire and you go into the advertising field, and you can make money for the rest of your freaking life.
It's true because and it depends on how long those commercials run, but you just sign a contract with like AT&T. Who's the one that does the AT&T ones?
Well, I think Tom Brady was in one of those.
Yeah, Tom Brady was in one, but they stopped running that one. But
Sometimes they go back through rotation, and if you don't see him for all, then they bring him back.
Yeah, well, it depends on the deal too, because a lot of times they do it for the deals. Like they try and get celebrities that like hold. Tom Brady, I think, still has an iPhone 6.
I'm surprised Ezekiel Elliott didn't have the Salvation Army.
He's one of the richest men, and he's still on the iPhone 6. You know what? Instead of making fun of Naeem, we got to make fun of Tom Brady. How do you still have an iPhone 6?
Yeah, well, and a lot of
doesn't want the
people
money
still
to
have the
change it.
success too.
I've seen people who will live below their means just to prove to the world that the money doesn't affect their judgment.
Yeah, it doesn't affect
How
the
much?
judgment.
How much
That's
are
why
you willing
married
to
a
bet?
hot model and
How
Giselle
much?
Duncan.
How
That's
much
why
did
you have a
he?
huge house.
How much did he? How much are you willing to bet that he pays off all? He uses all the money to pay off the refs.
Oh,
And
dude, I mean, come on. That's what he uses his paychecks for. I know Duncan will get his balls in a twist, but it's true.
Well, only if you're
By
twisted.
the way, Aaron, where do you stand on the whole entire Tom Brady GOAT debate? Is he the GOAT or nah?
We discussed this. On
Okay.
the stream,
All right.
actually.
Okay.
Wait, you discussed this on the stream when you said about the eras.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, but remember I was
era.
trying to log in at the
This
time,
is
so
the
I didn't
thing.
hear that part.
This is the
That's
thing.
right.
This is the thing. I said when he was in New England, I said from the beginning, I always argue to people. I said the exact right coach, Bill Belichick, met the exact right quarterback at the right time, and they made magic. However, I have since amended my statement because here's the thing: to be able to go to another team, which by the way has a completely different offense, and still have success, to me shows that you can't completely rule out the argument that he might be the GOAT.
Yeah, but what about the two times that he got caught cheating?
But it's 7 Super Bowls, remember? It's 7.
7 Super Bowl rings.
Take away 2. Take away 2. He still got 5 with New England.
He's drinking the Duncan juice.
Oh man.
No, hold on. Look.
I
have never been a Tom Brady fan. I am trying to argue objectively. Clearly, that's something that
I don't care. I don't care if you're trying to.
That is not an objective
argue
argument
objectively
at all.
Why not? You explain to me why not.
He got caught cheating twice. Period.
But do you think that takes away every piece of work he did subsequently from that point on?
Okay, look. Maybe the first 3 Super Bowl rings, because those three were fine. You know,
I'm not arguing with the number. I'm using the fact that
Aaron, let him talk.
Good.
Yeah, the 3 Super Bowl rings. Okay, that's fine. You know, you can have 7 rings. I'm not disputing that. But I feel like the way that they were done and people praise him, like they don't acknowledge the fact that he cheated twice in a big championship game. They're like, oh my God, Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champ. No one's ever going to do that again. Okay, yeah, that's undisputed. But people don't acknowledge that he cheated twice. That's what gets at me. Like,
yep.
In that case, I do think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's what
I do think he cheated, and I think to a certain extent, I think that shows that as a person, he may be morally reprehensible. I think the thing that impresses me. The thing that impresses me about him, take the cheating out, even take the rings out. The way the simple ability to be able to pack, because the football players have to study the plays of the offense that they're trying to play. I am impressed with quarterbacks that are able to adapt to different offenses. I'm almost apologetic in the way I was to Tom Brady simply because I always thought that his success was attributed to Belichick.
Well, we can argue and say, hey, it wasn't because look at Belichick. Now, even with Mac Jones, he can't do it, right? So probably you can say that. But here's the biggest part, right? The biggest thing you can say is, I don't know, because my thing is, yeah, you could say, look, Bill Belichick's nothing without Brady. You're right. But when he's studying the play, Tom Brady got what he wanted because he cried like a little baby, like a little bitch, like a little biatch to the Tampa Bay organization and said, almost burped. He said, I need these guys. That's what he said. I need Rob Gronkowski because otherwise I'm not comfortable. What if the Buccaneers had not gone to get him? Then guess what? Would Tom Brady have won another Super Bowl? Yeah, probably.
But look at players like
But he could no, hold on. He could not do it without Rob Gronkowski. He could not do it without his weapons. Does anybody recognize the weapons? Never. They never say, well, Gronkowski did this for him. He did that for him. They did this. No, never. And they always, Oscar's right. They never recognize the cheating. And you say, oh, I'm so impressed. He was able to go to another organization and play this and play that and study the offense. But he needed his weapon. Otherwise, he couldn't win. Oscar, go ahead.
Yeah, because you look at this. Check it. Another reason what gets at me and what irritates me, why I'm not willing to say that he's the greatest of all time. He cries when he doesn't get the call he wants. He cries. He's a sore loser. Like, dude, like when he lost to Washington this past season, he literally stood there for like 30 seconds, and the interview was like, what went wrong? My wide receivers didn't do what I needed them to do, and just walked off.
Can I just be legitimately honest? I nothing Tom Brady. He's not polarizing to me.
He's a sore loser. When he lost to the Super Bowl to the Eagles, he did not shake Mick Foles' hand.
Nope, he didn't.
I have no opinion of him. I'm just going to put it out there. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, I don't necessarily think he's the greatest of all time. I said that the argument could be made that if you make an argument that says he is, I could understand that argument. If you make an argument that he's not, I can understand it. But quite frankly, I don't give a crap about the guy. I have no opinion of him.
But you also said that given the era, if you put him back in 1950, 1960, he probably wouldn't be the Brady that he is today.
No, it's true. That era. I stand by that statement. I do.
But also, I mean, if he were to come back, he could probably do it because he was always so protected. That's why he doesn't have a lot of those
NFL,
scars.
not necessarily by the teams.
By the way, I think Duncan would have appreciated this fact. At least the Rams saved me from praising Brady.
I would have reported your channel.
Oh my
I would have
God.
I would have gone ham.
I would have
said you were racist. You were right wing. I would have said you were a Trumper. I would have said you were offensive content. I would have said all of it.
So let me ask you this question: if it is not Tom Brady, do you guys have your picks for who you think the GOAT is in the NFL?
Peyton Manning.
He's on.
Joe Montana.
I feel like you'd have to have a good number of rings to really consider yourself.
I don't think so.
The GOAT. I think you can make an argument.
Ali didn't have all that many wins, and yet he's considered the greatest of all time.
Could be the GOAT. Big Ben could be the GOAT.
No.
The argument could be made.
Because he doesn't have the but he doesn't have the stats that Tom Brady, that Brett Favre.
Say what you will though, but he brought the best
Joe
out of
Montana,
everybody.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he doesn't have the stats that and here's the thing. The first Super Bowl.
Do you need stats? Do you need stats?
Yeah. How else are you going to be the greatest of all time? Even if you don't have rings, you need stats. You need one or the other to me.
By making your team better, by being such a presence that your team does better simply because you're there, by being the kind of person that you can take players that people would see as no names and make them household names.
No, but Aaron, you look at check this out. Like when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, when they moved teams, when they were in New England, when they were in the Colts, they were like, Patriots and the Colts are in the conversation for a Super Bowl. They're in the conversation of MVP. When they moved to Tampa Bay and when they went to the Broncos respectively, these guys are content. The Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in contention for a Super Bowl. These guys are going to be in contention for MVP. You've never heard that from a Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah. Never. And he has 2 Super Bowls. Like,
I think. Well, see, I'm wondering if you can even attribute did the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl with Manning. I don't really think he played a big of a role in that game. I think it was the running game and the defense that really stepped up in
No,
that.
no. I'm not talking about the Super Bowls. I'm talking about the
I know.
fact that the stats made him like made them like it made him a name. Like,
What about if that's the case? Then maybe you could make the argument for Joe Montana or even Vince Young.
I could see Vince Young. Maybe. I'm not sure that I could see. No. Now, Oscar, I think you have a visitor.
no, it's work. Like, my mom's job. So
There's some like this is an interesting thing. This is why I love every year that they do those top 100 players of that year, because I would love to see. I don't know if NFL Network ever did it, but like a top 100 players of all time.
I think they have, but I can't remember.
I want to see that and look at it because
Oh no, everyone's gonna pick Tom Brady because he has 7 Super Bowl rings.
see, I think that there's a lot of players in the previous eras that would be in the conversation, but simply because Tom Brady has whatever connections that he does in the NFL front offices. That's why he would possibly be number one on that list.
Anyway, Justin, do you have any other topics before I go on a tirade on Tom Brady?
Yes. We
segue.
I'm trying to control my rage because fucking Aaron here.
Your rage on me?
Oh yeah, because you sound like a Tom Brady. Well, not a sycophant, but a fan. Anyway,
No, I'm not.
we're over. It's done. We're over. All right. You can
See,
make
now
your fart noises
You
later.
guys have a preconceived notion about me that I can't defend.
You've ever, because every time you try and defend it, you go in and say, "Well, he's this." And he's that.
I respect your arguments. That's what I'm gonna say.
You know what? You better get a bucket of ribs, a rack of ribs, and you share them with me.
If they're boneless, I'll share them with you.
Oh, nice and juicy though, like with a smoky flavor.
Well, then again,
nice
Aaron knows a thing or two about being boneless because he has no spine.
Oh,
Oscar, just go back to your acting classes and leave us alone.
Oh. Well, it's kind of like Naeem. He has no nuts.
You know
Oh.
You know what? I think he'd be cracking under the pressure. Like Nutcracker.
Oh, he's already done
You guys ever heard like the old composition for the Nutcracker?
Yes.
It's actually Naeem's answering machine.
Oh!
Now that's a good one. That's entertainment.
Naeem, he just came so much. I know I'm talking away from the microphone. You guys can hear it, but he just came so much. It's so funny. It's honestly like we were talking about him, me going down in August to Virginia, and I said, Naeem, if your mom lets you and gives you permission,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking fantastic.
I know. No, seriously, Tom Brady, he just gets me, man. That's why I act like that.
Before I get even angrier, because I got an
that
stupid ass lady.
I feel like the kind of person where I
poor
argue.
excuse of a disability services counselor.
I told you what to say in that email.
No,
I
dude,
told you how to extend that.
I know, but she's like, I understand that the professor. She's like, I understand that the third party is inaccessible, but it's still the professor's responsibility to make sure it's accessible. No, it's not.
In a way, I know we're getting into things that the fans don't know about, the viewers don't, but in a way, it sort of is if he can control it. If he can find an alternative for you. The problem is
the class is the problem is that the class. Well, yeah.
Well, here's the problem. If he finds an alternative software for you to use, no workplace is going to do that for you. So what he would end up doing to you is effing you over, because he's essentially saying, let's actually make this to where you don't have to do this work. That's what he's essentially doing. I'll talk to you off the stream about what you should do, because obviously she doesn't get it. And what you should tell her is, obviously you do not understand. And I do not want to have to go to your supervisor. So here's what I expect from you. On Monday morning, I expect for you to have a scribe and reader for me. And I will email you and ask you who that is, because it'll be week 2 of school, and I don't expect
Do you
anything
guys send out
less.
accommodation letters at the beginning of every semester?
They don't follow those. That's the problem, is that they're making excuses.
I figured that was the case.
I'll clue you in, Aaron, after the stream.
Yeah,
No, that's fine.
We'll talk after.
But
I
let's get
want to
this-
preface what you're saying by saying, like, I understand, like, I don't necessarily think he's the GOAT, and I do think that to an extent he cheated. I just didn't want to be. I didn't want it to be a situation where you guys thought that, one, I was agreeing with you on everything, and two, like, I wanted you to think I was actually having my own individual thoughts. That's one. Two, I wanted you to think I was being able to argue objectively, because I think that playing the devil's advocate is going to allow us to be able to think and discuss things with more depth.
I guess.
I
But
guess.
when it's Tom Brady,
mean,
we
I-
don't think like that. He doesn't get a pass like that.
I mean, I played devil's advocate. Like, I'm like, I said it in my video. I'm like, look, he did this, this, and this, but
Yep. Aaron, my rule is once a cheater, always a cheater.
Okay, and I
Period.
respect that.
I don't
Anyway.
care. Now that win against Atlanta is legit. Whatever. All right. Now, Oscar, we are at 2 hours and 37 minutes. Can we hit 3 hours? Let's see if we get there with this next topic. We have the Dallas Cowboys, of course. I know you guys don't like it. I do want to ask, though, who faces more pressure? Is it Mike McCarthy? I saw this as a segment on ESPN on Undisputed this morning. Who faces more pressure out of these two gentlemen, Dak Prescott or Mike McCarthy? I'll go to Oscar first. Yeah, Oscar, in your opinion, who faces more of the pressure?
Mark McCarthy.
Okay, go ahead.
Because here's the thing, like, he has been a horrible play caller. I feel like Dak Prescott is doing what Aaron Rodgers did, and that's carry him. I mean, either way, Mike McCarthy doesn't even call plays. Like, he doesn't call plays. So, you know, he's the one that faces more pressure. And also, take note of this name. You know, I don't know if he's going to be broadcasting this year or not, but if he does this year, then obviously he can pull the what's this dude's name? Oh man, coach of the Buccaneers.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. He can pull the Bruce Arians move where Sean Payton can broadcast for a year, comes back as a coach and coaches the Cowboys if Mike McCarthy doesn't, step up his game. Because I feel like Dak Prescott's locked. Like, I don't see, and this goes back to what I said earlier, I don't see them starting from scratch already if they already have the players in place. They got to get the coaching right, because Dak Prescott suffered 4 years with 8-8 Jason Garrett. He got hurt the first year of Mike McCarthy, but it's pretty, you can tell that Dak Prescott was carrying that because he was on fire with passing touchdowns and things like that the first 4 games before he got hurt. And then this year, again, on fire. And then because of play calling, he regressed. So I feel like Dak Prescott's fine. Mike McCarthy is going to be the one that's going to be looking over his shoulder. Because like I said, Sean Payton has been linked to the Cowboys job for a while now. So,
well, let me respond here. Let me get to this, Aaron. I promise you, I'll get to you. All right.
You good, bud. You good.
Well, let me tell you something. Tell you something. I'll go get in your pants and you're gonna like it. Anyway, I'll respond to you in a couple ways, Oscar. I think let's start with Dak, because Dak, there's a reason Jerry's paying him $40 million, right? And it's that, again, you hit it right on the head in the last stream. He overhypes the quarterback. He pays him more than he's worth. Is he a good quarterback? I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Is he great? I think he's kind of he teeters on it in the first half of the season and then goes down. So I don't know. Is he great? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think he's good. However, Jerry Jones sees him like another son, maybe like another grandson. That's the thing, is that he sees him like, that's my boy. And he loves Dak Prescott. That's why he did it. He loves him. Now, on so that's why he's locked. Now, Mike McCarthy, and you could say, look, they don't want to start from scratch. They're going to start from scratch, rebuilding as a team if they get rid of Amari Cooper, which they should not get rid of Amari Cooper because that would be a stupid move. Anyway,
breathe, kid. Breathe.
Mike McCarthy, he's sort of in the hot seat and sort of not. So let me explain why. He's kind of someone pointed it out on Undisputed. I think LeVar pointed it out. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. He's doing the Jason Garrett thing. Don't overshadow Jerry Jones. Do not take the spotlight of Jerry Jones. Let Jerry Jones do what Jerry Jones does. And then you take the bullets of whenever anything goes wrong, and Jerry Jones will keep you. However, if you're like Jimmy Johnson and any others, he'll get rid of you because you're overstepping his toes, his authority, right? And Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett did 10 years. Horribly. But why? Because he didn't overstep Jerry Jones. Why did Jimmy Johnson leave? Because he wasn't going to be bossed around like that. So Mike McCarthy's carrying Jerry Jones's water, and that's what Jerry Jones wants, and he wants someone that'll be the fall guy. Mike McCarthy is the fall guy, so that's why he's going to stay there for, I think, a year or two. Unfortunately for me, that's my nightmare. And the other thing, too, is who's threatening his job right now? It ain't Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, when he was coaching, he looked amazing. He was calling the plays, he was calling timeouts, he was managing them, he was doing absolutely incredible. Kellen Moore is said to be the threat to Mike McCarthy because Jerry Jones loves Kellen Moore. There's an argument that's saying that Kellen Moore, if let's say he was going to walk, let's say, I don't know, McDaniels wasn't hired and they said Stephen Ross said, hey, if you tank the games for me, I'll pay you $200K, I'll pay you $250, I'll pay you $300K. I make that joke all the time. But let's just say he was accepted and they said, all right, you can come in. There's an argument that said Jerry Jones would have said, nope, you're promoted. Mike McCarthy, you're gone. So they're saying that Mike McCarthy, the greatest threat is Kellen Moore, and he's doing the Jason Garrett playbook, and that's why he's going to stay.
I agree with you to an extent.
Okay.
I really do. I'm going to tell you something. This is okay. It's interesting that you talked about how much Jerry Jones loves Dak Prescott like a son, because there is a clear metaphor of a parent-child relationship. What do children need? Children need stability. By that same token, your quarterback needs stability. If you're going to keep a quarterback in a system for a long time, on a team for a long time, you need stability in that system to see results produced. Dak Prescott has been, how long has Dak Prescott been in the league? When was he drafted?
2015, 2016. He was a fourth-round draft pick.
So we're talking 6 years now. And how many head coaches has he been through? Two. More than likely 3 when McCarthy goes. That's not the kind of stability.
And he's been through Mike Nolan and Dan Quinn.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing I'm talking about. It is sad to me that the only consistency that Dak Prescott has really gotten is Jerry Jones. That says a lot to me. I think Mike McCarthy will always be under more pressure, but it's not just Mike McCarthy. It's anybody, and I do mean anybody that steps into that head coaching position, because since Jerry Jones loves Dak Prescott, he will never be blamed. It will always be the head coach that is blamed. You say Jerry Jones loves Kellen Moore, that opinion is going to change right quickly if he doesn't win within 2 years of starting.
But of starting as head coach?
Yes.
Okay, but win what? A division, a playoff game,
a Super Bowl.
I mean, Mike McCarthy hasn't won a Super Bowl. It's his second year. Oh, COVID. Okay, we're entering into year 3. Cowboys ain't going to the Super Bowl, especially if you're removing a critical key, crucial piece in let me get to my mic. If you're removing a critical key, crucial piece like Amari Cooper. So Mike McCarthy's not gonna win. And he loves him like a son, and he loves him because he's staying away and he's not stepping on my toes, and he's a good man, I'm gonna keep him. That's what he says. And I mean, look, I can see I can see a couple things. Look, Mike McCarthy will not win a Super Bowl. And maybe it'll take another 2 years. Jerry Jones is 80 in October. Does Jerry Jones even want a Super Bowl? Does Stephen Jones even want a Super Bowl? I feel like this is just a game to them because Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones are millionaires and are billionaires, and they don't give a damn if they win a Super Bowl. Jerry Jones is going to do this for the optics.
It could be a ploy.
Let's say he hires Kellen Moore. I figure he should hire Dan Quinn. Yeah, he went under 500, but he got the Falcons to 28-3, and then his defense effed up.
This is an interesting thing that you're pointing out, too, because when you say, do they really want one, there could be an argument that maybe the thing that holds fans to coming and seeing the Cowboys every year is seeing will they, won't they? And maybe that's what's holding fandom in for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe that's what's locking people in following this franchise every single year is will they, won't they? But at a certain point, their fans are going to get tired of it and say, no, this is bullshit. They won't. We just got to accept that. We just got to accept the fact.
27 years now, and the fans are still here. How much longer will they stay? I think they'll stay. However, I think they will grow tired, and they'll have low expectation. I told Oscar this.
Thank you for proving my point.
Well, yeah, I told Oscar this. I'm getting to the point with the Cowboys where I am with the Golden Knights. Okay, so what? They won a game. I don't care. Talk to me when they go. No, hold on. Talk to me when the Golden Knights get to. Talk to me when the Golden Knights get to a Stanley Cup and win, and all of that. And I'm gonna say the same thing about Cowboys. Tell me when they can get past round one. Tell me, then I'll be okay. Oscar, let me get your thoughts here. You've been quiet.
No, yeah. Same. Like I said, 27 years. Yeah, you guys are like I said. Sometimes y'all overstep your bounds when you guys say, "Oh, every year." Like ever since Tony Romo has taken the reins. Because I remember Tony Romo was the hottest thing in 2006 or whenever he was a starter. And then when Dak Prescott came along, and Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott set the world on fire. Oh, Super Bowl time. No, like, I honestly echo your sentiment. Let's see. Let's wait and see once they get. I say, let's wait and see once, like you, NFC Championship. Look, you're not expected to go to the Super Bowl. Granted, I honestly think that the Cowboys are going to be like, the Bengals really ruined it for them because the Bengals were a joke for 33 years. And then, everyone was saying, we don't expect the Bengals to make a run. They made a run to the playoffs. Then they made it to the wild card. Oh, let's see if they can get out of the wild card round. They made it past the wild card round. They're like, oh, well, they're going to be bounced out the next round. Nope. Next round, nope. Made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So I feel like the Cowboys, every year now, they're going to be held to a standard where, they're going to be held to a standard to where they're going to be like, I guess now since the Bengals made it past where they should be, I guess it's we got to make the Super Bowl, but they're going to crumble.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't hype up my team anymore, my teams, because I'm Oscar. You saw my channel when I was first covering Golden. I didn't know what the F I was doing. I was just yeehaw, right? And I didn't know how to analyze a sport. Well, I could talk about it. Like if I could talk to Oscar on the phone about.
Yo, it was like every video that the Golden Knights, the
That's
Golden
gross.
Knights want tonight. Like he was singing. I was like,
I'm always singing.
And then this was him, and he was like this, and then the Golden Knights, it was Mark Stone with a goal. I'll be like,
you did it wrong, but yeah, it was something like that. And
Like I was.
It was, and I think what it was I was trying to find my footing.
Yo,
I wish you could see the incredulous look on my face right now.
There's a lot of looks we give you too.
Yeah, I love it. Look, just stop drooling, okay?
Hold on, y'all.
Okay, here's the thing.
But no, hold on. So right, so I don't hype my teams up like that anymore because
I have to get this phone call. I'll be right back.
all right.
Have
I don't
fun.
hype my teams up anymore because what the Golden Knights showed me last year.
Oh.
What the Golden Knights showed me last year was they're not capable of winning. On paper, they're one of the best teams in the NHL. You put them against the Wild, Colorado, and Canada, and what did those teams show you? That the Golden Knights are just shit. They're nothing else. So when it comes to putting their money where their mouth is, Kelly McCrimmon and George McPhee, I think he left, and Bill Foley, they're jokes. The Golden Knights are a joke. Yeah, I still love my team. I'll still wear their shirts. I'll still own their merchandise. However,
sure,
look, I saw this video that said, "Oh my God, Golden Knights are a failure," and he went over the San Jose Shark game against the Golden Knights against the San Jose Sharks in 2019 in the playoffs, where they lost in Game 7. I think it was Game 7, and it was bad. He was wrong. He didn't mention the penalty that the refs called that was not supposed to be called, and they were banned from doing sports for the rest of the season. So anyway,
what needs to be posted?
So
where?
The interesting thing that I find is that,
but that's why I don't hype up my teams.
Well, and that's the standard that they're always going to be held to. It's always going to be Super Bowl or bust for them, even if they were to make it to the championship game. It sucks for the franchise because even if they make it to the Super Bowl, if they don't win it, then they're seen as crap. They are literally at a point where, like, they're playing Russian roulette every single year. And unfortunately, I feel like over time it's going to kill the franchise.
The blogs, the Zoom information can be blog information, but also
that's what I think, Jason.
Anything that the chapters do,
it's going to kill the franchise.
For example, you know how you put on the announcement listserv, hey, this chapter is doing this at that'll go on the blogs definitely.
Talk about NFP stuff. It's really interesting to me. The other part about this too is I'm curious if how do you think teams are reacting to
we can put hashtags like
season,
NFP,
and how do you think it's going to affect the game going forward now that we know that the week is permanent? Jason,
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. All right, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I was trying to mute Oscar. I'm sorry. It doesn't really. It's not like it's as accessible as Zoom. Oscar, remember you are muted. Ask your question one more time. I'm sorry. It's just, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. Oscar didn't mute himself.
Bro, don't even worry. I'm going with the flow here. What's intriguing to me is I feel like having this extra week, there's always an adjustment period in the NFL. There was an adjustment period when the season went from 14 weeks to 16. And I feel like now there's an adjustment period where teams go from 16 games to 17 in the regular season. And I feel like because of that, it's causing us to see things we wouldn't normally see as far as teams that are winning and teams that are struggling. And you can agree with me or you can disagree with me. I don't care. I'm just going to put it out there. I think that some teams are reacting differently. Like the way things are happening with the Cowboys just happen to be the one thing that is constant every single year, regardless of how many games there are. And that is they're hyped up and they don't live up to it. But for them, the standard is it's impossible for them to live up to it. I'm curious what your opinion is of franchises and things like that, where
franchises and things like that where like do you see a difference in how teams are playing and how they're handling things because there's an extra game?
I can speak on my Cowboys' behalf. I saw them making certain moves where I don't think they were wise to do so. I don't think they were changing their plays.
I'm back. Sorry about that. And I know that for some, what's interesting, Jason?
What?
So on my Windows computer, when I would hook up the mic, when I would hit the mute button on my mic, nothing would be heard. I'm guessing it's different on the Mac.
Try it real quick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, good to know. Thanks for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because I found it strange that you told me a couple of times like, yo, your volume is too high on your phone, or like you just heard my like. It's interesting. Like I didn't know that.
That
good
was
to
fine,
know.
but because you were talking, I couldn't. I could barely understand Aaron, and I had to like
No,
stop
yeah,
Aaron because I had to mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Well, it's good to know for the future. So
Yeah, which
So-
it should mute like that. But my opinion, Aaron, is I saw the Cowboys staying the same. I didn't see them doing anything different. However, and especially not handling their injuries well. Dak, look, without that bye week, I think Dak would have been ruined for the season. So I'm happy we have the bye
Maybe
week.
even for future seasons too, because of how gnarly
Yeah,
the injury
exactly.
was.
I mean,
But
here's the
in
thing.
terms
I
of
feel
my,
like
had I seen teams acting different? No, Oscar.
no, I feel like Dak Prescott though is getting a little bit injury prone. Like this past season he dealt with an injury when he was benched for a game or something like that. Before the season started, he had his shoulder problem. The year prior, he broke his ankle.
Mhm.
And then there were a few seasons where they were like, I don't know if he's gonna play or not because he's always on the injury report. So that's always gonna be a concern with Dak Prescott.
So the question that I was asking, Oscar, and I'm going to ask you because I do want to hear your opinion about it, is with these games, there's always an adjustment period when you go from like 14 games to 16 in the regular season, and now there's going to be an adjustment period when you go from 16 to 17. Do you see any differences in the way teams are playing and in the way they're handling things, knowing that they're going to have that extra regular season game now?
I mean, to be honest, dude, I hate the 17th game. Like
I think
if 7-9 and 8-8 were enough to get the NFC East into the playoffs, like now the new norm is, oh well, if they're 8-9, we're good.
Yeah.
Like they could have kept it the way it is, like that. Also, 7th seed. What is the 7th seed for? Like.
So that only the first place team in each conference gets a bye.
Okay, but I feel like that'll be allowing a pitiful team like the Steelers. I know that. Well, you're a Ravens fan now, so like I feel like you would share the sentiment. The Steelers had no business being in the playoffs. Well, I'm being straight up. The Steelers had no business in the playoffs. Who else? Who's the 7th? Was it the Cardinals who were the 7th? Oh no, it was the Eagles. The Eagles had no business being in the playoffs.
If you know the way the season rolled out, if the Steelers hadn't been there, then the Ravens would have been, and the Ravens didn't have much better.
Well, actually, if the Colts would have did what they were supposed to do, beating the Jaguars, they would have been. I'm like, I feel okay. There are some lower seed teams, like for example, the Colts. The Colts, they probably would have had something to do with the playoffs because their running game and their defense was actually legit. We can give all the crap to Carson Wentz, but the run game was legit. The Steelers, the reason why they got by was because of their defense.
Yeah, well, and Lamar Jackson was injured in the game that
exactly. Would we like say Lamar Jackson didn't get hurt because he was on a roll. Like
the Ravens would have been there.
Exactly. He probably would have been the number 1 seed. The Ravens probably would have been the number 1 seed, to be honest. They had, when he was playing, he was the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and the Ravens topped the Chiefs in week 1. They started off fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing too, is that I don't even
you guys probably will not agree with me on this. I'm trying not to seem biased because it's my team, but with Lamar Jackson, I don't think you can attribute his injury to his lack of instincts, because I think he's got good instincts. I just think in that situation, there were so many injuries that they had that Lamar Jackson tried to do too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And again, this is coming from me being a Ravens fan and making an argument on behalf of Ben Roethlisberger. I'm really trying to argue objectively so I can establish credibility here. I think that the Ravens could have even won the AFC North had it not been for Lamar going out. The Bengals were very lucky to have gotten a division title this year. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bengals were great. They beat the Ravens.
You guys can
Lamar.
still hear me, right?
Yes, I still hear you.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson played the Bengals once this season, and they got smashed.
Oh yeah, well, and I think that was also because even though he was playing, he also wasn't 100% in that game either.
That's true.
But again, I'm not gonna make any arguments. I'm not gonna make any excuses. The chips fell where they fell. That's fine. But if you look at the way the stats are, that was the first time the Bengals had swept the Ravens in how long? That was the first time in over a decade.
By the way, Jason, we reached the 3-hour mark.
Yes, we have.
We're hitting the 3-hour and 1 minute mark.
That's how long my other stream was.
Dude.
That's right.
You guys are spectacular.
I know, 2 streams at 3 hours.
Nothing's more spectacular than doing it for 4 hours. And
oh my god,
that's what she said.
Oh, of course you would.
That was good timing, though. No, but this is the thing with the Cowboys. I again, until the microscope comes off of them, they're going to be held to a standard that they just can't match.
And exactly, and that's why I never say, "Oh, my Cooper's going to the Super Bowl."
It's
I
like
never say that, and
they'll go when nobody expects them to.
I don't see it, and I don't want to hold them to that standard, and I don't want someone else coming to me and saying, "Jason, remember you said your Cowboys were going to the Super Bowl." Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman. A lot of these guys were saying, "Oh, Cowboys, you better watch out." I'm like, no. I know my team. I'm not a fan that is gonna just say
false belief.
Yeah, I'm not a fan that's gonna come out and say, absolutely, they're going to the Super Bowl. You guys need to watch out. It's not happening. It's not happening, and I'm tired of them being held to this standard. They can never, ever get by. They can't do it. They never will.
Have you ever like mentioned to people on stream why you have such a connection to the Cowboys? Like why you started following them?
What was that?
What was the reason? In your life why you became a Cowboys fan?
Well, I mean, when you're a baby at 1-2 years old and Cowboys are on every Sunday, I mean, you kind of start to gravitate towards the Cow. And I mean, I don't know. It's my family team. And it's sort of, that's kind of how I became a fan of a lot of these teams. The Golden Knights are one of the teams where I became a fan by myself. And I know my dad had a good influence on me on that, but I was always interested in looking, are the Knights going to come? Are the Knights going to come? Is this going to? And so, but really it's our family team. Everybody loves the Cowboys, and most of the family loves the Cowboys. So, when you have it on at your house and your dad watches NFL Sunday when your parents are together all day on Sunday morning, from Sunday morning to, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, to the point where my mom, when she was my dad's wife, was like, fine, I'll sit here while you watch your games. That's why.
A lot of people don't know this about me, with me being...
And the history, and I would do research on them and all of that. I just grew attached to the Cowboys.
So a lot of people don't know this about me. So even though I for a long time I was a Washington fan, I was always a Baltimore fan too. And there's a reason for it. And the reason I'm mentioning this because I feel like it's important to get to the root of why we like the teams we do, and it's important to understand the perspectives involved in, that's why I asked you why you like the Cowboys so much, and I respect the reason you do.
My grandfather on my dad's side, he actually was a Washington fan as well, and he was a season ticket holder. And
Yeah, I think you said this last week too.
Well, so he got treated very rudely by the organization because he had a medical situation where he could not return the season tickets, and he hadn't liked him since. But my grandfather became a Ravens fan, and he actually passed right before their last Super Bowl victory. So that game they played against the Niners, he never saw that. He never made it to see that.
Well, and he was looking down from heaven, man, and celebrating.
And that's to say, I said, this is the best way I know. The best way I know to say goodbye to you is to take up the mantle and follow this team.
Oscar, are you here?
I think he got kicked, bro.
Jesus, Oscar. Hold on a second.
No, because I don't see his, on my phone, when there's somebody that's actually in the stream, I can see.
All right, here. I got him.
Camera.
All
Okay,
right, can you hear
goes.
me?
Yeah. What happened? I think it's
No,
Chrome.
Chrome kicked me out, dude.
Yeah, it's kicking you guys out. That's what happened to me last time. It actually kicked me out.
If you're at an Oscar stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was rewatching it and I saw that. No, I mean it's a cool tribute that you do to your grandpa for your grandpa. My grandpa, he lived in Mexico, so I don't have that connection with him. My great grandpa, but my grandpa here, Guillermo, Papi Guillermo, he loves the Cowboys, and the Lakers. So the best thing I can do too. My grandpa loves them, and I love talking Cowboys with him. He's a very optimistic fan. And, he'll challenge me at times. Anyway, that's how he talks. I got to get you an audio because he's hilarious. But my grandpa does love him. And I think it's a cool tribute, man. And your grandpa was celebrating up there and drinking a beer with Jesus.
And honestly, that's why I really do hope one day that Lamar gets his so I can do it one more time. I just want it one more time.
You probably were saying that Joe Flacco was the best quarterback ever once the Ravens won that Super Bowl.
Actually, no, because I don't think that he played a big role in that.
I mean, hey, 28-3 would have belonged to the 49ers and not to the Patriots because they were down that margin too.
Well, I'll say this though, I think it was Bryce Brown was really putting in work in that game. Bryce Brown was the running back at the time. And he was putting in work. I'm pretty sure he rushed for over 200 yards in that game, even though they only got 16 points.
Only 16. Only 16.
The final score was 16-6.
That is insane.
No, not that Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was much higher than that. It was
the one that the Niners, because it was the Harbaugh brothers.
Yeah, but that was a regular season game. That was the Super Bowl was a higher score than that one. It was like 31. What year was it? 2012, 2013. 2013.
2013. Oh my God. Was it the Ravens?
I thought it was 2009.
No,
2009 was not the Giants.
I graduated in 2010.
The Saints. 2010 was
hold on.
It was the Packers. 2010 was the Packers.
Packers and the Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah, and then 2011 was the Giants again.
And they played the Patriots again.
And then 2012 was the Ravens, yeah.
So it wasn't 2013, it was 2012.
Yeah.
That was the same year that RG3 got drafted. But yeah, no, because there was 2 years that the Ravens went because they also beat the Giants 1 year.
Yeah, that was 2000.
That's right. 2000.
That was the new millennium.
Woo!
Y2K Super Bowl. Ravens.
Right.
And then 12 years later, they get another one.
I'm noticing a trend. They like to
Wait,
be in decade. Go to decades.
Go to the decades. Yeah. Yeah, they went 12 years later after the 2000 and 2012.
They're going to be
That's
at
right.
2024. They're going to get their next one.
Oh, that would be
Ooh.
interesting. Oscar's wanting to come out here for that, pretty much.
Oh gosh, that's too funny.
Oh my gosh. All right, we went 3 hours and 10 minutes. Basically, we will get past that.
Little by little, Jason. Little by little, you will be getting to that 4-hour mark. Yo, I still can't believe we did that. Probably not
Dude, you
doing
missed
it.
the joke. You completely rolled over the joke.
Oh God.
I don't want
You said little by little, Jason. I said that's what she said.
Oh my
Oh God. End the show. End the show, Jason.
Hold on. We still have to figure out what you guys are gonna do next. Oscar, you so this was a really long stream. I am done. But
That's
Oscar,
what he said.
Do you really want to ask those questions?
Aaron, are you crying because that's what she said to you?
Oh.
No, actually, what she said to me was, "Well, I'm not going to go into that."
Well, because it broke your heart.
No, it broke my fart.
Well, she said that you couldn't get. You know how you say I'm not going to go into that? That's probably what she said.
No, that's what I heard.
Oh!
That's what, no, actually, hold on. I said I'm not going into that because I see cobwebs.
Oh, she saw cobwebs on your little cane and said,
Your little cane. Oh my God, I love it.
Look.
Well, you know what Sean Allen Chow said to me, Oscar.
Jason,
I'm gonna put a cane
Jason,
between your legs.
we realize you're overcompensating, but you have to dial it down.
You're the one making these jokes and telling us about.
And
how
you're the one
girls have told
responding
you.
to them.
You're the one telling us about. You're trying to make it a therapy session by telling us what girls have told you.
But you're the one who is fostering the therapy session. So it's
I
not
wasn't
about who
fostering
brought
a
it in; it's
therapy
about who
session.
continues it.
No. I did not foster the therapy session. You brought it
crap.
in. That's what the girl said when you wanted her.
Bull honky.
Whatever. Anyway, this is the part where we ask the guests what they're covering. Duncan, I obviously couldn't ask. Oscar, what are you covering on your channel? I mean, it's Real Madrid, so it matters. Finally.
So I just uploaded. Actually, it's not Real Madrid, but it is European soccer related. I just uploaded while I was out on the stream, no less. My new development in the Super League. So make sure you check that out. Doing my Real Madrid preview for the game tomorrow after we get off here and get off backstage, and also I'll be discussing Chelsea officially being on sale and what it means for things like that. What we spoke about on the stream, just a little bit more in depth. So that's what's coming up on my channel the next few days.
I would have spoken more in depth. I mean, we could speak more in depth right now if you want. I don't mind that. If you
Awkward silence.
You don't want to speak more in depth?
I gotta get my thoughts in order.
And Naeem has to find his balls. Anyway,
Microscopic.
Of course.
Well, first he has to ask his mom, his sister, and his ex to let him see them.
Oh!
Ouch. Aaron, what do you have coming up on your podcast, Faxman's Musings?
So I'm going to talk about the Ukraine situation, and then I actually have another idea, and you guys are going to be the first people I tell about it. But there is a website called wish.com that has the absolutely the most outlandish things you'd ever want to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally a desk lamp you can get that's shaped like a pair of balls. Like that's how outlandish this website is. And I want to try to get some stuff from it and then do an unboxing on stream.
Okay, so I have a question. How are you gonna do an unboxing if it's gonna be on Anchor?
So I could do it on Anchor, but I'm also gonna do Stream Champ as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Stream Champ is a division of Twitch, but it also has a face cam.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I was like,
I feel like,
gentlemen, if you can hear this.
It's like the time that I forgot to turn on my camera when I was unboxing the Shure MD5 mic.
Oh my god, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So they used to,
You
so
seen something?
Aaron, they used to do their no nonsense podcast, right? And it was just audio on YouTube. Was Oscar, and I couldn't figure out how to do video yet. Well, I could, but I thought I needed someone to film me. And I was like, we're not gonna do this by myself. So anyway, Michaela, I think, has her camera. I don't remember. And
No, don't name drop. You
Oh,
accidentally
sorry.
dropped the name.
well, you dropped the name on the podcast. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's his podcast.
Literally, it
that's-
says.
Oh,
it
that's
says
true. That's true.
talking.
Oh yeah, true.
talking
My bad.
Michaela Perry.
It,
Yeah.
it was the other thing that we're not.
Yeah,
supposed to-
yeah.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, she has Oscar's balls tied up too. No, but anyway, so Oscar. So what the funniest thing was, they all have their cameras off, right?
Yeah.
Oscar decides because I told him to get this mic because I had heard about it, but I couldn't afford it at the time. So Oscar, I don't know, he could, and so Oscar gets this mic, right, and he calls Ira like, hey, I need to unbox this. Da, 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 da. Okay, we can, and I'm on this. And this is how far he is. Yeah, and anyway, and you hear. All right, let me get a screw. And you know he's
And
like,
then all you
and he's
hear
like-
is the sound of me trying to screw the little mic and the.
you hear like the. You know whatever that. Okay, I got it open.
With no visual.
No
like,
visual.
No
and-
visual.
And you have Naeem and Michaela going, yeah, yeah.
It's so funny with like
Yeah.
no visuals to that. Like your imagination can run.
No, it's
wild.
because here's the thing. So back then,
And they're just talking.
when we kicked off that podcast, we decided because A, I did not know that recording on Zoom was an option. B, and you know this is how pissed I got, Jason, with Naeem. So Naeem obviously mentioned. Obviously, this was before we met. So he was like, "Yeah, Jason said that we can do Zoom recordings." I'm like, "Okay, how do you do that?" I don't know. Let me ask Jason. I'm like, "Okay." Like I knew it was a possibility. I just didn't know how. If I knew how, I would have said, because we used to do our recordings on Skype and Skype. I don't know why Skype. Whenever you turned on my video, the audio quality would be cut out. So I'm like, so he's like, yeah, Jason said it's possible. I'm like, okay, how do you do it? He's like, I don't know, let me ask him. He never asked. And so like I guess like we finally like graduated from that stage, and I think it was Jason that initiated the let's do this on Zoom.
Yeah, because he was gonna appear on my show, and no, I think I was appearing on his show first, and he had me on Skype, and I was like, Oscar, there's a better way to do this. I'll have you on Skype, and I'll record on Windows. So the reason I recorded on Windows was because it would save to my local computer. At that time, I didn't have good storage and all. I forgot what it was, and I also needed to show Oscar how to do it. So I recorded it for him, and I had to take like 2 hours to send him the freaking video. And I said, Oscar, here's how you do it. And finally, he started recording on Zoom, and he went from that to going, well, why don't, instead of doing that, I'll just do live streams. And then I did live streams, but I jumped on video. I started in June, in June of 2020. And I think it was July or August of 2020 that I went to video on my channel. Oscar went to video like in
like a few months later when I realized that
like September.
Actually,
October,
no. Actually, I did video in after the 2021 season. That's when I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna.
What?
Yes. Like,
Wait, you're telling me that in March and April you still weren't doing? No, Oscar, you're wrong.
No. I meant like probably I started doing video in February of 2021.
What?
When I
Yes.
first started Faxon using,
Man, all this history. You're doing what?
when I first started the Faxman's Musings channel, I was trying to simultaneously stream to Facebook and Anchor, and it just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. So I was just doing Anchor, but I'm wondering if I can try to do Anchor and Stream Champ at the same time. But either way,
See, here's where here you can do multi-streams on StreamYard, but it's
You have
It's a
to do
hassle.
a professional and
it's a weird thing.
well,
But so well, that honestly that sounds freaking hilarious for one. For two, like there's always gonna be like you're always gonna have to get the kinks out of it when you first start it. So kudos to you. Kudos to you for trying to go through the growing pains for that. And then three, I'm kind of laughing on the inside because I'm thinking for anybody who's watching and who's listening to the audio but having no visual aspect to go behind it and wondering like what their brains are thinking. Like, what is the actual sound? Nobody.
And how does the box look? What's the mic look like?
Not even that. Like the sounds they're hearing. Nobody's thinking this guy's screwing in a microphone. They're probably thinking, oh, he's probably smacking something. Or,
Yeah, exactly. But hey, you live and you learn. Hey, second, I wasn't willing because here's the thing. Naeem's ass was like, well, I don't want to show my messy background. I'm like, dude, fix your bed. I'm too lazy.
I told him
video.
I told him he could fix his background on Zoom on Skype.
Do you really think he's gonna do it?
No.
Like, dude, no.
Stupid.
And then he keeps telling us that, oh, you better be ready, get ready. My channel's gonna be popping.
Because didn't you say, wasn't it one time that you had him on it was a Zoom recording? I remember this. You did it on Zoom, and all you see is like him on like I don't even know if he has a picture of himself on Zoom. Like I think it was just literally a straight up green screen.
It was just a straight up green screen because I told him he couldn't stay still, and just before we started recording, and I said, Oscar, Naeem, can you even keep still? He's like, no, man. And I was like, dude, just keep your freaking mic camera off. I made that one exception. Oh, I made it twice because of my cousin, but I was like, dude, just keep it off for now, I guess. Fuck, like, screw it,
Well, at that point, he's doing more harm than good.
It is, but
No, but at least he could have like maybe put up like a profile picture of himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Yeah, I was hoping, but yeah, Naeem just didn't do that. But so you got the Ukraine episode coming up this Sunday?
Yes, I do, and I'm gonna try to be like I said, I'm not gonna try to be biased one way. The interesting thing that I was going to talk about is a lot of streaming services are actually removing their licenses, they're geo blocking to a point where none of their content can be streamed in Russia because of what's happened. Like a lot of companies,
See, that's money that they are losing. That's not really affecting Russia.
Well, that's the interesting part, though. Is like, that's the interesting part. Like, it's like, who are you really hurting?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I don't want Russians paying me. If anything, right? Ukraine should, Russia should be allowed to have it because that's money. Well, I'm gonna not make money from you. Okay, fine.
You're punishing private citizens for the psychotic machinations of one man.
Basically,
like I said, if they don't do it to the U.S., they shouldn't do it to anybody else. But how long have we been going? Let's see.
3.5 hours.
Almost. I mean, we've gone for 3 hours and 20 minutes, 23 minutes.
Yeah, but we gotta get backstage, and I gotta record my reactions to other things. So.
Yeah. I know, Oscar.
I haven't. I really have.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long stream. It has gone for 4 hours of 5. I wish. No, I don't. 3.5 hours almost.
Should you relate the dream that you relayed to me the other day? Because you're so petty.
Oh my god.
Right, I just love this exuding friendship that's permeating.
So I always have to be better than Oscar. He might have the better mic right now, but at least I have the better mic and it makes me sound better, so he's jealous. So
see, I'm the bare bones guy. I'm just like less is more.
So anyway, Oscar did a 4-hour stream, right? And I don't want to do a 5-hour. I don't even want to do a 3-hour stream. I'm like, screw that. I want to be out as soon as possible. Like, This is the one area I don't want to beat Oscar in, right? But apparently my dreams had other ideas. So I'm sleeping. And did I say, was this a nap that I took, Oscar?
I think I don't know if it was I think it was a nap. Yeah.
I had
think
an
it was
8
a
hour,
nap in
had
the
an
morning
8-hour
or
Twitch
something like
stream.
that. 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do your fingers not get tired from handling the controller all that much? 8
I know.
hours.
Actually, and the funny thing was,
Oh.
I didn't eat that whole time either.
Oh hell
Dang,
no.
heck no.
I would have eaten on the stream.
Honestly, I was tempted, but I'm like, no, I don't want to hear people to hear me slurping in the microphone to pick it up.
Then don't eat. I eat away from the microphone.
Well, it's hard to do because like for me, in order to see what I'm doing, I'm
All they would hear, just like they did on my channel, is a lot of belching.
Literally.
for me, they go a lot of.
Do I have? Hold on. Before we go, I want to see if I can find that file. No, you know what? No, hold on. And the next stream I'll play it. It's literally Oscar. I think he's putting away his bag or whatever. What'd you get, Oscar?
It was Bonchon.
Bonchon. All right, so he gets that spice mayo or whatever, the tenders or whatever. So anyway, he's getting his bag. All here's excuse me.
Nothing says.
That should be my. You know what? You just give me the idea. Send me that. I think you did send it to me. So I'm gonna cut a clip, and at the end of the intro for Golden Truth, you're gonna hear, instead of hearing the glass shattering, you're gonna hear.
No. I got a better one.
No.
You're like... The Golden Truth intro. All you hear is.
Aaron, you should totally do that.
I'm going to. It's happening.
You know what, Aaron? You're the one that giggles in the middle of the intro. So.
Dude, I like the intro. Sue me.
Oh, yeah,
mute
but
mute yourself.
Yeah, mute yourself. Actually, that's not very professional.
Yeah, because you guys are definitely the essence of professional.
Hey, at least on our intros, we're professional.
Exactly.
I call BS on that.
That's the one thing we will not ruin.
You when you have to leave me to ramble for 5 to 10 minutes on, you lose the right to call yourself professional.
Well, hey, that's when the show starts. When I play the intro, it's supposed to be the intro and nothing more. No sound effects, no nothing.
That's true. Then and it is professional because it's not like he's leaving the stream.
But here's the thing, though.
And
we're
like
sitting there listening to this intro and it lags like crazy, and he's sitting there like.
Oh, that was not my fault though. That's
not his fault. That's the internet.
That was more stream on my Windows.
Yeah. So anyway, so the dream is, so I personally I like doing live stream. I love it. It's fine. Except if I can do an hour or two at the most, I'm okay. This is the one area I do not ever want to beat Oscar in intentionally. So, and I guess I have this nap or something like that. I don't remember. Or maybe I was going back to sleep in the morning. And I have this dream that somehow I am doing a stream, right? And apparently, according to my dream, my dumbass decided I want to beat Oscar and I want to do a 6-hour live stream. And then I think someone said, I think my mom was like, why do you have to do 6 hours? Why can't you just do 5? He hasn't reached 5 yet at this point, right? I'm like, well, because I need him to work to catch up. I want it to be really difficult for him to catch up. So apparently I did a 6-hour live stream where I had Duncan, Oscar. Well, I had Duncan, I had Tyler, our other friend, Marvin, Kat, or just not even Kat, just a female journalism student, and I think like one other person, and then Oscar was the headliner. So Oscar was like the headliner. So the crazy part is Duncan takes like an hour and a half, I think like 2 hours. Then comes the female guest that takes like another hour and a half, right? So then what's even funnier is that the last part of the show, I don't know what happens is at that point Oscar comes on at about 5.5 hours. So we have about an hour of things to discuss. So obviously it goes to like almost 7 hours. What's even funnier is that Oscar is the headliner of the show that's meant to beat him.
That is great.
No, I just find it funny that Naeem didn't make the cut.
You guys want to see? You guys want to hear something really cool?
I think that might have been that person. But
no, because when you first told me, I was like, huh, Naeem didn't make the cut, and you're like, yeah, Naeem didn't make the cut or something.
Oh yeah. I
So
only
you
invite
want
people
something
I'm
really
not.
cool?
But yeah, so no, that's how petty apparently I am. That in my dreams, I wanted to be Oscar
So
on the stream.
my nephew, my 4-year-old nephew, likes to do a lot of the things that I do. And so one of the really cool things that happened one time when I was on a Twitch stream was I'll sit there with the microphone on. He'll comes over and he'll be like, "What are you doing, Uncle AJ?" And well, and it's really cute because I'll be like, I'm on a Twitch stream, and what I did was I took the microphone off of me, and I put it on him, and I said, "Just talk,
Aw.
just talk." And he was just talking. He's like, he just talk about one thing or the other. Like, he was just talking about
You know what you should do a Twitch stream of, Aaron?
What?
Of you playing like little board games with him or something. Like,
Yes, I would see. What I want to do, if I can figure out how to get my Twitch account on the Switch, he actually plays Mario Party.
Oh, cool! Ooh, Mario Party.
Yes, I want to get like superstars because they have like the maps from because they have the maps from like the previous games.
Yeah.
And
that is
cool. Here's the thing too, it'll reintroduce that to his generation, and like from the previous games, and because he plays it and he actually does really well. And so I want to do, if I can figure out how to get my Twitch account on the Switch, I want to, again, I don't have anything where I can like plug a headset up to the Switch or anything.
Could get an adapter for that, pretty much.
Yeah, it's probably what I'm going to end up having to look into, but it's going to be cool because what I could do is just put the headset on him and let him, because he'll get so excited, he'll be like, "Uncle AJ, it's Mario!"
Oh, so cute!
I gotta send you guys a pic or something. Oh, by the way,
send us a video.
Pictures do us no good, Aaron.
I can kind of see them. It depends on the day, but send us a video because kids are so freaking cute. Babies,
I actually have. I put in the chat. I put my Twitch link in the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay.
So what I did, so my dad used to do that, where he'd take the ON off the end of our name and put MAN on the end. So I took it even further and put MANITY.
Oh man,
so it was like something really creative that we did with our last name, where I can almost brand it in a way.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's fun. Okay.
Seriously, and I designed the logo myself for the podcast as well.
What was that?
And I designed the logo myself as well for the podcast. It's very simple though.
Oh, that's nice. I need to do that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. We have hit 3.5 hours. So we need to get the hell out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Get out of here.
Longest outro ever, y'all.
I know. I love how we were supposed to be like leaving like 30 minutes ago. Or like at least 20.
That's because you guys are fun to talk about.
Well, yeah, but like the last part of the stream is literally us, for all the sports people, it's literally us just messing around, talking about dumb things.
But that's how much fun it is for us.
I mean, hey, you can do it like Fist Vegas Entertainment, where they're supposed to be talking sports, but they talk about random crap all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, it is going to get views because people are going to go, oh, it's not, they didn't just talk sports, they talked about all kinds of other things. And it, so,
if you get guys, we're getting paid. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I wish. Oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you subscribe to Oscar Josue Montiel's podcast. Oscar,
you don't have to mention my middle name, by the way.
I'm just so used to it because for like a year and a half, you had Oscar Josue Montiel. That's why I get all tripped up. I'm like, wait. That's why when I edit in Final Cut, I said Oscar Josue Montiel, and I'll just take out the Josue and I'm like, Oscar Josue Montiel, and it goes so fast. I have to separate it. Or I'll have to say, wait, Oscar Montiel.
No, it's like
or like, just the last name Montiel.
No, dude, you use like a jaw synthesizer. Please subscribe to Oscar Montiel.
Anyways, end the show, Jason, before we're here for any longer.
Or Oscar Montiel.
Oscar Montiel.
Oscar Montiel.
That's what I should. You know what? That's what I should do a podcast on. Is like funny things that screen readers do.
Oh my god, that would be
Oh my
hilarious.
god, that would be hilarious.
Oh, we got to do that. All right, so
That's my
so-
I'm taking it first.
boy, we can take whatever we want.
Oh, that's what she said.
Well, she said it to Naeem. That's for sure.
No, she never said Naeem.
Oh,
Oh.
ouch! Even
Oh.
Naeem took
Okay.
at the end of my outro. All right,
Seriously, end the
We gotta
show.
decide. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this 3 hour and 30-minute long stream. It's a little bit longer than probably a 3 hour and 35-minute long stream. Oh god. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press the post notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. Follow me on Twitter, FlivvyJ97. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to Oscar Montiel's channel. Make sure you watch the Golden Truth series every Tuesday at 6:30.
Except, a special announcement, because I have to do another live stream on Tuesday, and Aaron will work out the details. It will be just a different day this upcoming week.
I got you, bro.
I want to get that out there. Sorry to interrupt you, but you reminded me, Jason. Thanks.
Okay, so just subscribe to the channel so you know when the live stream will come up. They're gonna do a free agency frenzy, so make sure you keep an eye on that. And they're also going to, I guess, Oscar's going to do another live stream, so make sure you keep an eye on that. Typically, it's on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So just keep an eye on that. Who knows when it'll be? And make sure you pay attention to Faxman's Musings. It'll be on. Do you upload on Sundays, Aaron, or do you make it on Sundays?
I'm also going to try to find some time this week to maybe stream a little bit more Lego Harry Potter Year 5. So if you want to watch that, go to twitch.tv/Faxmanity.
All right. Twitch.com.
Twitch.tv/Faxmanity.
Twitch.tv/
It'll be in the description.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll paste it in the description. I do not know what the hell I'm saying. It's in the chat as well. You guys can go and find that. But also the podcast is uploaded this Sunday, or you're gonna make it this Sunday?
It's gonna be I'm making it this Sunday. It's on Anchor FM. It's gonna be on, because it's on Anchor. It's on Breaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Apple,
and
Google,
anywhere you get your podcasts.
and Radio Public, and Pandora. Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, so it's on this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you listen to that.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. It's all right.
You
Breathe.
literally cannot answer a question.
Breathe.
You literally cannot answer a question.
Breathe.
End the stream.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure I end whenever I want. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to all the channels. Make sure you follow Duncan Dye on Instagram, the Franchise Sports Media. Make sure you check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. And